Welcome to Room Temp.
Hi, everyone.
Happy Friday.
Oh, yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah, we record on Fridays. You don't hear this until Saturday or Sunday, probably, depending on where you listen. But yeah, this is going to be a different episode because Hannah and I both have had a week. Hannah more than me, but I think we touched on it a little bit last week that the full moon is coming. I think on the 22nd.
Is it?
Yeah, you looked it up. So.
Oh, yeah.
And I always said that things just feel weird and different in the week leading up to it and everything. Well, since that's Monday, I think we're in the throes. And I firmly believe in that. So if you ever feel off or weird, before you blame your spouse or significant other.
Or your body, even.
Or your body. I mean, it technically is your body because it's about...
Well, because the moon controls all the water.
Gravitational pull, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, the moon controls all the water.
Yeah.
And, we're 60% water, so...
There you go. I saw a meme this week that...
Oh, about Jesus.
Yeah. Jesus turning water into wine, and then a guy drops dead, and the guy was like, what happened? We're made 60% water. 70% water, whatever it is.
It's 60%, I think.
Anyway, so one good thing that's come out this week for me is that I finished my takoyaki stand, the little miniature kit.
I don't think we even talked about how you were doing a sushi restaurant.
Oh, yes. So there was a tragedy last week, and my sushi restaurant bit the dust. It was a series of unfortunate events. I won't go into details because it's too heartbreaking. However, I just trashed it. I saved some pieces from it that I can use in other crafts going forward, but my friend Stephanie had given me a link to this particular takoyaki shop, and in Animal Crossing, which is my mental health savior during the past year, I have a villager who is an octopus, but his name is Zucker, and he looks like a takoyaki. And if you don't know what a takoyaki is, it's an octopus ball. It's a Japanese street food.
It's like a cream puff, but octopus.
Octopus, yeah. It's like dough and octopus. Really delicious. I've only had it a couple times in my life.
Is it good?
I like it, but you don't like seafood, so.
To be fair, I haven't had seafood that much.
Yeah.
The closest thing I've gotten was fish sticks.
Yeah, well, that's not really. I mean, it counts, but it doesn't.
I used to love fish sticks.
I grew up not liking fish because my mom didn't like fish.
Mm-hmm.
And so we never had shrimp, we never had crab, we never had any kind of seafood at all. And then when I got to be a teenager, I started eating a little bit of seafood, or fish, not necessarily seafood, like catfish and things like that at my aunt's house. And it was kind of like top secret. Like, I didn't tell mom that I had fish at KK's house because didn't want to gross her out. Because there's nothing worse.
Doesn't she like fish now?
No. Mimi still doesn't like fish.
I could have sworn I think
maybe
she's
shrimp.
made. I think
maybe
she's
shrimp. I'll have to ask her.
I think
Mom,
she's
if you're listening, please comment.
I think she's maybe made fish for Ethan.
Maybe like salmon or something.
Yeah, because I remember
my little brother loves fish, which is funny because I always kept the fact that I liked fish or ate fish from my mom because I didn't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. But Ethan, being the baby of the family, and it's no shade to him at all, or my mom for that matter, but he just kind of gets what he wants.
So does my little brother. So the feeling is very much mutual.
Does he though? He kind of does. Mm-hmm. When it comes to food, for sure, because he's so damn picky. That's the problem.
I'm not just food, but other things that
maybe. But you get a lot.
I get away with a lot too. I'm not saying that I'm I'm saying he gets away with a lot more than I do sometimes.
He's just funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he sells it harder or something.
Yeah.
That's part of his charm. We'll go into it because one of the things we're going to hit on this week is astrology signs, and I looked up Ian's today, and it's hysterical. I found a funny website.
Yeah, he's funny. Okay, I'm gonna
Aries, right?
Yeah, he's an Aries. You're a Capricorn.
Correct.
I'm a Pisces.
Jason's a Scorpio.
No.
Yes.
He's a Sagittarius.
No, Sagittarius starts November 22nd.
When's his birthday?
The 16th.
I could have sworn he was a Sagittarius.
I thought he was too, but Scorpio is what I looked up today.
I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah, do that. But anyway, back to the takoyaki shop. I've finished it. I'll post pictures on our Instagram and our Facebook page. I know, right? She made a face. It's definitely a
I could have
Scorpio.
sworn he was a Sagittarius. Has it changed recently?
I don't think so. Well, that's a big difference. It's not just like 1 or 2 days. That's 6 days.
I could have sworn he was a Sagittarius.
I don't know.
He told me his birthday, and I looked it up and read it to him once when we were eating pizza.
Maybe you read the wrong one, girl.
That's so crazy.
I don't know. But, anyways, back to my kit. The kit is freaking adorable. I even did the wiring. I was so proud of myself. But it's teeny tiny, and my hands are not teeny tiny. So, it was a challenge. There were times, funnily enough, I posted a picture of progress on my Instagram page, and my son chimed in and said...
Right, now we can hear you stop screaming. Or
No, not that. When I was doing a progress picture, he said, I was like, it's so fun, you know how you do. Everything is like happier on your social media.
It's either really happy or just like, I am having the worst.
Life is pain. But Ian commented and said, oh yeah, like it's so restful for you or something like that. You're not yelling at all. Like, yeah, that's true. And I said, you don't have to tell all my stories.
Right.
Let me do that.
A little highlight into my week. This is just, it's been rough for me. With my, as we said in the previous episode, my undiagnosed mental stuff, plus TMI. I think I'm PMSing.
Is it your moon time? They all call it the same. It's funny.
Anyway, I think I'm PMSing, but because, undiagnosed stuff, I'm never, this is really TMI, sorry, I'm never, like, on time with my period, so it's always weird and...
unexpected.
And then there are times where I'm PMSing all the time.
Yeah. We need to get the hormones back in check.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. But I'm just saying, like, that's the reason I'm having a rough week.
Yeah.
And it's not, like, crying or...
Yeah. We were having a discussion earlier so I am diagnosed with depression and have been on antidepressants off and on, but mostly on for the last 12 years or so, like a long time. And, during the middle of all of that 12-year period, I tried to wean medically off of them to see if my depression was situational, because that could be. It could be just based on the rough stuff that I was going through at the time. So I tried, and for one thing, I understand what people are going through when they're going off of hard narcotics and opioids and stuff like that, because it was so hard. I felt like such a fiend, like, like shaking and jittery and miserable. And when I finally, I talked to my doctor, I went about 2 weeks without them. So I was weaning off, and then I went about 2 weeks. So it was about a month and a half maybe without antidepressants. And I was just like, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. It's a chemical imbalance in my brain. Like, there's
it's
no
genetic
question.
Too.
Yeah, it's genetic. And there's no question in my mind that it's not situational. This is true chemical imbalance. So I'm very happy on my antidepressants. However, I have had to change them over time, change the dosage.
Well, that's fine.
Change, they do not work all the time. But this week for me, I'm not depressed by any stretch of the word. I'm just off. I just feel off.
That's going back to what I was saying. It was like, I'm not having one of those weeks where I'm just crying over everything, and it's like I can't get out of bed, or like, the classic stereotypical severe depression. It's just that I feel like apathy.
Just emptiness
and numb. And it's like, one of the things I talked about earlier today with my mom is, how sociopaths, right? I'm not saying I'm a sociopath, but I'm saying they don't feel something, right? Like, they don't feel the classical emotions. They're not bad people. They just don't, something in their brain.
Not necessarily bad people.
I'm just saying not bad people because, they get the whole bad rep. And, they don't feel the classic emotions. And, like, they're aware, they can be taught what emotions are and whatever, but they don't feel them. And sometimes, I'm like, a lot of the time I don't feel things. Like, I'm like, oh, I should be sad right now. And it's not, I don't feel sad. I just feel nothing.
And some of that's genetic, too.
It's just, like, but I think a big part of it is I am self-aware. Mm-hmm. And that's when I read something that's, like, someone was talking about the conversation they had with their therapist, and like, see, the problem is, and then the therapist was like, oh, so at least you're self-aware, and the guy was like, I think that's part of the problem.
If I didn't know, it'd be so much easier to treat me. That's part of my problem too, all of the time, like, not even just mental health wise, it's, you know, medically speaking, I know just enough to be dangerous. Mm-hmm. And so knowing what I know, it can be both a great thing and a terrible thing.
Self-diagnosis is a pretty big part.
Yeah, especially today with all the resources.
And people that, like, crap on self-diagnosing yourself are just kind of... If you're not... The thing is, there's a difference between self-diagnosing and going in being like, I have this problem. Well, that's the same thing. Never mind. But, you know, if you are worried about what you're and you look up symptoms and you're not just, like, going on WebMD and the first thing you see...
Right. It's different now. Like, I mean, hell... Even if you go on WebMD and you see stuff, you know, you see things that worry you and you don't go to the doctor, what if one of those... I'm a what if person. Mm-hmm. What if the very thing that you found on WebMD is... Yeah. What is wrong with you? Same thing with...
everything is a symptom of everything.
When I'm feeling this way, when I'm feeling kind of like off, I tend to... do the very not okay thing and visit people on Facebook that I really shouldn't, but not like exes or anything like that, but like people in my past from high school or whatever. And I will look at pages and I get pissed off usually within like 2 scrolls of the mouse button. And one of them today though, and I have to feel a little bit of sympathy because he lost his wife to breast cancer. Oh. But he's also a Trumpy and very, anti-vaccination and things like that right now. So I looked at his page and like 2 things back I was already pissed off, but then the next thing I saw, I was pissed off initially, but his message at the top of the message made me think. And one of the things is that in some women the COVID-19 vaccination can cause weird swellings in the breasts, and they, you know, and women may not get undiagnosed breast cancer checked out because they think, oh, that must be due to the vaccination. So it's like being like totally aware of everything. Like
that's okay. That's not
you
that
can be no. That's why I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I was mad, and then I saw that post, and I was like, okay, he's not completely crazy. Like, but it's true. I mean, you don't want to just chalk up how you're feeling or whatever to
hormones or
whatever. If you feel strongly enough that you need to get it checked out, get it checked out. Like,
yeah, see, I need to get it checked out, but I don't want to schedule an appointment.
That would be her first time calling doctors on her own and scheduling appointments. It's a big deal.
And it's like for heavy...
Yeah, it's a heavy topic. But like I said, you just ease into it. You say, I need a general checkup. I haven't had one in a few years. And then when you go in there, just hammer her with all
like, listen.
List. So
anyway, but going back to self-diagnosing, because I've said in my like birthday episode where I think I have ADHD, because I saw someone say ADHD in women is different than ADHD in prepubescent boys because of the behavior, right? Like ADHD, you like hyperfocus or you're just crazy. And if you see that hyperfocus and hyperactivity in boys, you're like, oh, that's not how boys are supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so you go get them checked out. And girls, there's this stereotype where you're like, if you're lining up your toys, that's like a girl thing. Like you're being neat. That's a girl thing.
Orderly, yeah.
And if you hyperfocus on, if you're female and you hyperfocus on a female toy like Barbies or stuffed animals or something, you're like, oh, they're playing with that, that's okay. But if boys would be like, I don't want to go outside, I want to stay in and organize my Legos, you'd be like, okay, they need to go. It's just weird how...
Yeah. Well,
that's what the medical industry is, too. It's focused on, like, male symptoms, mostly.
Yeah.
It's better now, but it's not the greatest.
Yeah. I just think, like you said, the medical... world is kind of waking up to a bunch of different things now, especially now in a kind of gender fluid society that we're starting to live in. You know,
You
have to be, you can't just say that's a girl thing, that's a boy thing. You just can't.
Like, nothing is gendered. Nothing is supposed to be gendered. There's, like, a lot of societies lived, like, gender fluid, right? Yeah. I learned that there was, in Hawaii, and they had a third gender, which was, I don't remember what it was called, but basically they didn't identify with the female spirit or the male spirit, and they were the teachers, the healers, whatever. And then, like, people colonized it, and they were grossed out. They were grossed out by that, like, 3 genders.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm just... this whole episode is a hot take.
Yeah, it's just going to be hot take.
And then we'll do a positive thing at the end to counterbalance.
Hopefully.
If we remember.
Hopefully we can come up with something. So I have written down full moons. We kind of touched on that already. That it's just the moon controls us, and that's such a funny thing to me.
Astrology is really real, and like it is a pseudoscience.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of weight to it.
Yeah. I don't even know. See, like I was saying to you earlier this week, I know I'm a Capricorn, but I don't know my rising, my whatever. I don't know all those things. I don't know my water, whatever. I don't know.
Water is a type of sign.
Okay. I don't know all of that.
There's water, there's fire, there's earth, and I think there's air. And it alternates. Like Aries is fire, and then the one right before that is Pisces.
I just know I was born in the year of the snake.
I was born in the year of the horse.
That explains a lot.
It really does.
Which is really... Anyway, that's a whole other show. So, I found a website today. I was just trying to look up some different traits of...
Can you share the link with me?
Sure.
So I can see it too?
Oh, I'm sharing with Hannah. Hold, please. We should have done this beforehand.
I didn't.
But you told me not to show you. And the reason why I think this is kind of funny is because it sounds kind of serious, but then when you read some of it, it's like, it's just fun. So let's start with Pisces. So it's Hannah's personality traits according to this site, which is costarastrology.com.
No, there is some CoStar isn't the best astrology.
Well, I didn't think it would be. I literally clicked the first thing that came up, and I thought it was funny because of what comes with the ends in a minute. So that's what we're going off of. You're the serious one. I'm being funny this week. So with Hannah's Pisces, personality traits in love, friendship, and more. So the basics are the symbols, the fishes, which we all know. Her element is water. Modality is mutable.
I'm adaptable to change.
Okay. And ruling planet is Neptune.
That makes sense. I love water.
So Pisces traits, somehow both 5 and 50 years old at once. Accurate. Thinks everything is a sign. Pretty accurate.
Mostly.
Can't remember if they dreamt it or it actually happened.
Okay, but sometimes I have dreams and then they happen and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's... Excessively romantic.
Yes.
Prone to fantasy.
Yes.
And no boundaries.
I am getting better at boundaries.
But how spot on is that, right?
Yeah.
So, some famous Pisces are Nina Simone. Don't even know who that is. I don't know any of these people.
Rihanna?
I didn't even see her yet. Victor Hugo, too. Okay.
Didn't he write Les Mis?
Yes.
That's a Pisces move to write a Les Mis.
So the best careers are what cracked me up the most. Volunteer therapist. I mean, you're that for me. Curbside fortune teller. We're doing that. We're doing that right now. Amateur poet. Maybe you don't like to write that much. Sad clown.
I would be an awesome sad clown.
Yes. An orb of light.
I am an orb of light.
You're a sparkly little bitch. And vapor, ? I don't know what that means, but it has a question mark after it. So, about Pisces. Is Pisces a good sign? If you're asking this question, you're probably a Pisces who's insecure.
Okay, but everyone shits on Pisces. Everybody shits on it.
Okay. If you don't feel valued, it's not because being a Pisces is bad, but because society as a whole generally undervalues soft skills like intuition and sensitivity.
True!
Your challenge is to start viewing these things as talents instead of impediments. What is the personality of a Pisces? Describing a Pisces personality can be difficult because Pisces tend to evade distinction. Their behavior changes significantly based on who they're around.
I'm in this picture and I don't like it.
Pisces.
That's how I spell it a lot.
Pisces are just permeable membranes that pensively let things flow through them. Uh-huh. They are cerebral sea sponges. They are boundless. I think that means you're spineless too, but...
Honestly, accurate.
They attempt to dilute themselves with larger personalities to avoid having to form coherent identities.
That's a little too real.
Most of the qualities usually associated with Pisces, dreaminess, emotionality, imagination, are internal processes that are difficult to observe from the outside. This is because Pisces are primarily inward-facing. They are not self-absorbed, but they are absorbed in themselves. Ultimately, a Pisces wants to dissolve, to wrest themselves of a physical form and diffuse into everything they touch as love.
Oh, that's sweet.
To exist in a gossamer or liminal layer that hangs just barely above the material. To live their life like a romantic poem. To understand that reality and fantasy are neighbors on the same infinite plane.
Yes.
Are Pisces smart?
We don't have to read all of this now.
Many Pisceans... I'm not going to do all Ian's and stuff, but I think we could do ours. Many Pisceans may doubt their intelligence because the society we live in places a higher emphasis on a structured brain with the ability to mechanically analyze data and spit out information, while Pisces absorb and sift through sentiments.
That's pretty...
Absolutely you. Yeah. They can't prove their argument because their opinion is based on a feeling. Hello, essay writer. In fact, feeling is the very basis of the Pisces genius. They may not be able to remember objective facts of a situation, but they can remember the emotion they were feeling at the time. They may not be able to recite every U.S. president from memory, but they somehow know that how you feel before you do. You all often ask me, Mama, what's wrong before I even know that I've put it on my face that something's wrong.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Their irrational intelligence can sometimes be misconstrued as psychic ability. Wow. It's really not some kind of supernatural power, but an acute sensitivity to the emotional information that lingers outside of most people's window of perception. They can come across as airheaded or forgetful. Hello, watermelon on trees. This is not due to mindlessness, but because of their particular orientation of their mindfulness. They are easily overstimulated and have learned to cope by turning inward. Misplacing their keys or getting lost aren't signs of their stupidity, but are instead a result of their detachment from the external world. That's you, Hannah. Like, your true weakness is that they're often the cause of their own turmoil.
Yes.
They're a little bit addicted to melancholy.
Yes.
They want to feel things intensely, and there's a poignant side to sorrow that Pisces actually find pleasurable.
Honestly, yeah.
They would rather marinate in a voluptuous pit of despair than have no feelings at all.
Uh-huh.
But that's not true either, because you said earlier today that you would rather feel nothing than cry constantly.
Yeah,
and
true.
That's kind of the flip of that, but I understand what it's saying. The search for heart-rending emotional experiences sometimes causes Pisces to seek out situations that are subconsciously self-defeating and then paint themselves as unwitting victims.
Okay, so there's a whole Pisces in love, sex, and romance.
We can skip all that.
I'm just going to read it to myself.
Yeah.
And then the first thing that came up was how to seduce a Pisces. Ready? Bring a copy of a classic romance novel to a park that they frequent. Or Little Musk or Patchouli. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker for a good cologne. Anyway, put a wildflower behind your ear. When you notice them looking, meet their gaze, stare deeply but not creepily. Yes! That is so specific and also real.
I like number 2. During your first conversation, tell them about your most recent heartbreak. Make sure to slip in that you've never been able to talk to anyone like this before. Hannah, the next time somebody comes up to you and like, you'll know that they're listening and they're doing that. It's so funny.
I'll confess your feelings in a handwritten letter, but first type what you want to say to Google Translate it into French, and then back to English so it sounds more poetic. Can I read yours? Because you read mine. Okay. Yep.
So I'm a Capricorn.
Science.
Is it just me, or does the little star pattern that
it looks like a smile?
It looks like a smile. I'm ready.
Okay. Basics, simple. The sea goat.
Bah.
Element is earth, and modality is cardinals. That means you're the highest.
Well, yeah.
And ruling
Earth
planet
down to earth.
What?
Does earth mean down to earth?
No.
I'm
And
kidding.
you're more grounded.
Got it.
And the ruling planet is Saturn. Okay, Capricorn traits. Full-grown adult since age 6.
True story.
The responsible friend.
Oh, please.
You're more responsible, but you're not that responsible sometimes.
Well, because even, responsible people have to have fun. Every now and then.
Motivated by duty.
So true.
Takes a while to warm up to people. That one isn't that...
No,
I think... Okay, I'm gonna interpret this. You, you open up really easily, and you make friends a lot, but I don't think you do the true, open up, bare your soul to just anybody.
It says warm up to people. So, to me, there's a difference between, if I didn't know you, and I struck up a conversation with you, that doesn't mean it doesn't mean that I'm warming up to you. That just means that I'm having a conversation with you and trying to relate to you, right? Warm up to people, to me, means...
That, you bare your soul to them.
Right.
That's what I was saying.
I would think that was true.
Repress any emotion that gets in the way of success. Yes. Famous.
What? It says Pisceans.
It means...
It's funny. They screwed that up.
Okay. Martin Luther King Jr. Jeff Bezos.
Woo.
Timothy Chalamet.
I don't know who that is.
He plays Lori on The New Little Woman.
Oh, of course. The one I don't like.
Michelle Obama.
Cool.
Dolly Parton. Hell yeah! Get it, girl. Mao Zedong. Who, do you know who that was?
Yeah, he was the communist.
The communist
Chinese
dictator.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of a communist dictator of this house.
No.
I'm just kidding.
More of a socialist dictator. I don't know who that.
Me neither. But
Allan
Poe.
That makes...
He's one of my favorite authors.
Okay.
Cool.
Best lawyers.
Best careers.
Best careers. Sorry, one of them made me laugh. Accountant.
No, I hate numbers.
Oh, I feel like you'd be good at it, though.
Probably, because I love detail.
You love, you are like me in that you like puzzles. And, if you have something to figure out.
Yeah, that's true.
Lawyer. Yes.
I could argue with a fence post.
Yeah, landlord. I think you could do it. I think you'd be one of the nice landlords.
Perhaps.
And then Sisyphus.
Freaking Sisyphus.
Do you not know who Sisyphus is?
Did you not tell me what Sisyphus is?
Do you know who Sisyphus is?
I mean,
I just read about him in my mythology class.
Tell me, Hannah.
Okay. So, Sisyphus, he's a guy who witnessed Zeus talking to another god, and they decided to kidnap another god's daughter so that the guy could marry that daughter. And Sisyphus went to the other god and said, "Here, I'll tell you what you want to know, but you have to put a fountain of water in the town so we don't have to walk miles to get water."
That is fucking me.
And then the god was like, "Okay, we'll do that. Tell me what you know." And he's like, "Okay, well, Zeus and I don't remember stole your daughter so that the other god could marry her." And they were like, "Okay, cool." And then Zeus was pissed because Zeus. He sent Hades to come get him, and he basically was like, okay, no. And he tricked the gods, and he convinced Hades that so first he told his wife, "Hey, don't bury me properly. Don't give me a funeral, whatever." And then he went to hell, and he's like, "Hey, listen, I didn't get a proper burial. I think my soul isn't meant to be here." And Hades was like, "Okay, that makes sense. Go back. But just stay for a while to get yourself buried properly." And he's
very smart.
"Okay." And he's like, he goes.
A manipulator.
he goes, and he stays for a couple of years, right? Because gods don't know time. And then Hermes got sent to bring him, and he kept tricking the gods, and Zeus was so punished that he sent Sisyphus to roll a giant rock up a hill for the rest of eternity.
I feel that deeply in my soul.
Anyway, you'd be really good at it.
Probably.
I don't know if they mean
it's like
rolling
a puppet master. It's almost like a puppet master. That gets screwed up. I
mean, Sisyphus was very smart and judged unfairly. And then elementary school hall monitor. Yeah, you could do it.
Totally. I was that goody in school.
Okay, about Capricorn.
Okay.
Do Capricorns like attention? Capricorns aren't consumed by the need for attention, but they are not immune to it. They simply don't indulge in attention-seeking behavior. I don't know if that's 100% true.
Look at me.
They don't want attention for their style, their looks or style or ingenuity. They don't want to be admired, but they do want to be respected. That's accurate. They don't want to be the center of attention. Instead, it's like they need to prove their abilities to people. They're constantly competing with themselves. Yeah. They do want praise, though, not adulation, just praise.
True story.
Praise is a simple acknowledgement of a job well done. Praise is a pat on the back. They use this as validation to compensate for general feelings of incompetence and inferiority.
Inferiority. Guy Fieriority.
They plow through adversity. Oh my god. With blinders on until they reach success. Yeah.
That's me.
What kind of a person is a Capricorn?
Fantastic.
Nah. Capricorns are masters of discipline. The wringing of hands, or the concert minders, the exacting structure, the ever-increasing goals, the tidal wave of self-criticism that lasts forever. They are the ultimate perfectionist. They can be so absorbed in their own internal monologue that it becomes impossible to get them to look away from themselves. They're often called workaholics. I don't know if that... You work hard when it's the work day, but I don't think you don't have a lot of problems stepping away. Was it like Regis
Not
like
anymore. That's new. That's new since we moved to California. Really.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, I say that my job in Texas before we moved here was one that I could step away from. That's actually what I look for now in a job, that I don't have to take it home. I mean, I'm working from home now, but
I get what you mean. Incredibly pragmatic, they rule followers with a highly developed moral compass. From a young age, it is impressed upon them that their whole sense of worth and meaning is based on their ability to hunker down and force their way to the finish. That's a little too real.
Yep.
This turns them into achievement junkies.
True story.
Their drive to succeed is a reflection of their fear of failure. The most stressful time in a Capricorn's life is when they question their own authority. When a Capricorn is put in a position of power, they are most stable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When they're put in a position where they cater to someone else's agenda, they can become a little unhinged.
Totally unhinged.
They collect a responsibility. They always seem to take it all on. They need to be the one to fix everything. Yes. Responsibility is their natural state. They have a can-do attitude. They're the martyrs and champions.
I knew I was a martyr. I've been vying for martyrdom my whole life.
You're like the protagonist of a really crappy fan fiction.
Team Hannah.
Okay, people who read fan fiction will know what I mean. They have a can-do. I said that. The team captains, the chief of chiefs, the general, the leader.
The guardians and the judges.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
But even as they lead the charge, Capricorns can feel like the loneliest people in the world. They wish to be completely self-sufficient and are scared of depending on others.
Absolutely true.
True.
Yep. Capricorns and love, sex, and romance. It takes a Capricorn a while to develop a crush. You'll probably have to become their best friend and drop subtle hints slowly over the years until one day they realize that they were in love with you all along.
Number 2, get married.
I love it so much I've done it twice. Oh. Okay, I'm not going to read the next because it's about sex. Anyways, I don't fall in love easily. It takes some effort. True story.
As opposed to me, all you have to say is, I like you, Hannah. I'll be like, I think I love you.
So I want to read Ian's because, or should you read Ian's and I'll read Jason's?
I'll read Ian's.
Okay, so he's Aries. He's all the way at the top.
The Ram.
Mm-hmm.
Fire, accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And Cardinal. So he's like you in that.
When he develops into a man, he's going to be a natural born leader.
Aries men suck.
Right.
On the internet, everyone's like, oh, Aries men. So.
Well, hopefully he'll.
Okay, ready? No filter.
Absolutely
Gets angry, then forgets why they were angry.
Yep.
Yes. Thinks everything is a game they can win. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yep.
He's taller than me, and now he calls me, like...
Short stack.
Short stack.
He's
taller than me by 2 inches. And he's like, well, I mean, Hannah's short, so... Granted, I am that way, too. Because I was like, when I was growing, I'm like, yes, I'm tall. Yes. We'll do anything on a dare. Yeah, I don't know if that's completely true, but it's accurate.
He'll at least try. Like, it probably is all blow and no go, but...
He has morals, so he wouldn't do anything. I'm easily bored. Yes. Mm-hmm. Famous Aries, Mariah Carey, Jackie Chan, Leonardo da Vinci, Charles,
Baudelaire.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Harry Houdini.
Cesar Chavez. Cesar Chavez Day is next week.
Yeah,
Or 2 weeks.
Wasn't the greatest guy.
I don't care because I get a county holiday because of him.
Whoa, she's a comedian. She's pregnant. She's having a baby.
Nice. Alana Glazer, y'all. She didn't finish that.
Oh, sorry. Best career's stunt double.
I could see him doing it when he was younger. Right now,
he just has no
slug.
He just has no pain tolerance.
He's a teenager, so
I think he gets embarrassed really easily, and he's like a firecracker when he gets lit. He's like, that was a weird sound. Part-time punk, full-time punk, pro wrestler. I see that.
Totally.
I see it.
Throw a luchador mask on him and some tight shorts.
I think like The Rock.
Yeah, okay.
But like, then that kind of WWE, like,
yeah.
Petty thief. Yes.
I hope not.
But it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes if I leave my phone sitting on the counter, he'll take it and put it somewhere.
Oh my god, yes.
And I'd be like, where's my phone? And then, you know what? And then he starts giggling like a maniac.
Not immediately, though. He gets you going for a little bit. Because he's like, what are you talking... Why would I do that to you? I mean, he's so on point. He's in character.
He's manipulative.
He's like, why do you always say that, Hannah?
See, the thing is,
why are you gaslighting me?
Sometimes I can't find he didn't move it.
I know.
So it's like, he's smart. He doesn't do it every time. He only does it like 85% of the time.
That's the petty part.
And then it's like, where's my phone, Ian? He's like, I didn't mess with it, Hannah. And I look and it's on the counter. I'm like, okay, cool. But so then I never know if he actually moved my phone or if I just lost it.
It's the constant mindfuck.
Cereal box mascot.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
So he can either be famous or a criminal.
And that's been my biggest fear this whole time. So let's go for a famous.
Haven't we always said he's either going to be so rich or so in jail?
I don't think jail. I really don't. I don't think jail, but I think putts. Like extraordinaire. It's fine.
Okay. I'm just going to skim. They do what they want, and they do things their way. Yep. Yes, they are unafraid of conflict.
I think he's unafraid. He sure does push buttons.
He just doesn't... He doesn't have a good sense of, like, perception.
Yeah.
Highly competitive.
Absolutely. Especially with himself.
Honest and direct.
Yeah.
In areas not weighed down by the freedom of choice. And is perhaps the sign that is least conflicted about what they want. Yeah.
That's true.
They throw themselves at the world eagerly and without fear. I don't know about without fear, but he's also a teenager.
I was going to say right now he's 13 years old, so he's got some time to develop that.
It is one of their most commendable qualities, but also what causes them a great deal of pain and grief.
I believe it.
They're driven by desire to prove themselves and their strength.
Mm-hmm.
They naturally take charge and are competitive and ambitious. Yeah. I would say so.
I mean, right now with school stuff, not so much, but again, 13.
He doesn't, but maybe school isn't that important to him, you know?
Well, it should be, but I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are spontaneous. Did I say that? Yeah. Okay. They're driven by a desire to prove themselves and their strength. Absolutely. They naturally take charge and are. I said that. Okay.
Determined and bold.
They have a sense of adventure and love to explore. Are good at initiating new projects. I think when it's something he cares about, he has no problem.
For sure.
They have high energy and can initiate quick actions.
He is high energy.
Yeah.
Even though he's a 13-year-old slug right now, he's still high energy.
When it's something he cares about.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of this is like not in the
face value meanings of the words, but we can infer.
Where was I?
High energy conditioning.
They can also be impatient, but are naturally active and don't like to waste time. I think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he was a little kid, he would play video games, and he wouldn't sit, he would stand, and he would just jump up and down.
Yeah. Which is funny, the next sentence as well, Aries like competition, they don't like to play games. I think that means like
mental games. I don't think he likes to play mind games. They're highly self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
Have strong opinions, absolutely, and are always ready to defend them. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to be impulsive.
My favorite thing is when Ian goes, "Now hear me out."
Impatient and hot-headed.
Yep.
Yes. They do not apologize for their anger.
Accurate.
Yeah. They say, I don't care and mean it.
Yep.
I don't think all of the time.
He does have a little bit of a tender heart, but you have to hit the right heartstring.
Mm-hmm. They don't always have the best self-control, so they need to learn how to be more patient. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Addicted to action and incitement. Aries are often the cause of their own turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
All Aries want to feel things intensely, which is why they can sometimes be prone to reckless risk-taking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It also means they're often reacting out of emotion rather than a place of calm, clear-headedness.
Mm-hmm. Just read the How to Seduce an Aries.
Can we read out loud?
Okay, girls. The 13-year-old girls that might be listening. If you need a boyfriend. Just kidding.
Dress in all red, where they're sure to notice you. I don't know if that's...
I think it's funny. That meaning that they're so competitive they may not be looking for... And they would see, oh, red. I don't know.
Also, red raises your heartbeat. It, like, makes us angry on a subconscious level, so it raises our heartbeat. Call out loudly. Whoa.
Yeah. No.
No.
There better not be anybody calling out loudly to my little boy, wishing they had a lover.
Relatively quickly.
No, we can skip all that.
He is 13. We are not going to talk about his love life.
No.
Even though he's had a more active love life than me, and that's sad.
Active. As in he had a sort of kind of maybe not really girlfriend for a couple of years. They were so cute. Okay, so Jason is a Scorpio. The basics of a Scorpion is Scorpio. The symbols of Scorpion. The element is water. Modality is fixed, and the ruling planet is Pluto.
Fixed means he's stubborn.
Oh, what a concept! Okay, I read this earlier, and I'm surprised he didn't hear me because I was going, ha! Oh my god, so correct.
Our dogs are also Aries.
Oh yeah, they all are, huh?
No,
not Minnie.
Minnie's a Scorpio.
Is she a Scorpio?
She's a Scorpio.
Yeah. Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, and let me tell you why. So, their primary emotion is betrayal.
Yes.
They look cool in a leather jacket.
Maybe we don't show him this episode.
Well, I think he needs to hear it. Okay with uncomfortable silence.
Yes.
Absolutely. He'd be quiet all the time if I let him. Can't be sure if they're serious or joking.
Story of my life.
Yeah. The funniest thing, so earlier he knows Hannah's having an emotional week, and he's literally the best stepdad on the planet.
Yeah, he's the best dad I've ever had.
Shade. Anyway, but he knows he's very sensitive to...
He's a water sign.
He's very sensitive to mine and Hannah's emotions, and he knows my period better than I do. I'll be like, my period started, and he's like... Yep, it's time. You know, like...
You're actually a couple of hours late. So
exactly. It's really bizarre, actually. So, I'm not used to that. Well, yeah, I was going to say I'm not used to that at all. So, today he went to the grocery store and he brought back chocolate for both me and Hannah. And apparently he threw it at her in her bedroom. Like, he opened the door, she was asleep. He threw it at her and it landed on her somewhere.
He hit my, side.
Anyway... it was like being at a zoo, like throwing meat to the tiger or something. Anyway, so he threw it at her and it hit her. Well, she didn't come out of the bedroom for a couple of hours, and when she came out, she asked him, "Did you throw chocolate at me earlier?" And he goes, "No." All incredulous, and I looked at him. I was trying to get eye contact with him, and she goes, "Oh, Ian must have done it then." And he goes, "Ian threw chocolate at you?" And she's like, "Well, somebody did. I got a Snickers bar thrown at me, and I ate it or whatever." And then I made eye contact with him, and then realized because he made a face, and I was like, "You're such a liar. He can lie through his teeth, but in a cute way, you know." Anyway, so okay with uncomfortable silence. Can't be sure if they're serious or joking. Eyes that look into your soul. Yes, and it makes me uncomfortable sometimes. But
I don't think he's ever looked at me that way. Thank God.
So famous Scorpios are Leonardo DiCaprio, Charles Manson. Marie Antoinette. He is shoving cake at me a lot. Anyway.
Frank Ocean.
Albert Camus. Sylvia Plath. Bjork. Awesome.
Do you know who Bjork is?
Yes, I do. She's a singer. Mm-hmm. And she famously wore a swan dress to the Grammys.
Good for her.
Anyway. So best careers are con artist.
Yes.
Puppet master.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Brooding protagonist. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Minnie also?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Poltergeist. Trickster. threw candy at you and tried to pretend like it wasn't him. And cult leader.
Maybe he's the ghost that we say is in our house.
Yes, I blame it on him. I'm like, dude, this is you. Like,
your weird Catholic beliefs brought a ghost into this house.
I do. I believe in ghosts. This could be a whole other episode all on its own, but I believe in ghosts, like, without a doubt. And we've had some issues in this house before. Brand new house, by the way. We built it. Like, it's not...
But the house on a corner?
House on the corner.
It's definitely haunted.
But it was also newly built.
I don't know what's going on.
So there were things that happened, and so things that happened that freaked him out. It didn't bother me because I was like, it must be my grandma, like it must be my great grandma coming to visit. Mm-hmm. I was completely comforted.
Okay, you should explain. You should explain what it was, though.
Oh, okay, so.
You're listening to Room Temp, brought to you by Anchor.fm. Starting a podcast can be really tough, and you need a good hosting service to get started. And Anchor is a free and easy-to-use podcast service with everything you need. You can make money from your podcast from the very beginning with no minimum listenership. Anchor makes recording, editing, and personalizing your own podcast using your phone or computer simple, quick, and efficient. Download the free Anchor app or visit Anchor.fm to get started.
I had a mirror shelf that belonged to my great grandmother, and it had been passed to my grandmother. And then when she passed away, my grandfather passed away. We were going through their household items, and I, as the oldest granddaughter, was given the option to whatever I
essentially
wanted.
Got first dibs.
Right, and I was like, I want the mirror because it was like the focal point of my grandma's wall in the living room, and it was a cool little knick-knack shelf frame, big grandiose frame, and a mirror behind it all. And so I was like, yeah, I want the mirror. So that mirror went everywhere with me. I mean, Texas, we had it in our house in Texas, and then I moved it. It was in storage for a year or so here, and then we moved into our house. So I pulled it out. But because it was big, hefty, whatever, I hadn't hung it on the wall yet. It was just sitting, leaned up against the bedroom wall. And Minnie, who was just a puppy at the time.
Yeah, she was a couple months old.
Was terrified of the mirror. And I thought at first it was because she could see herself. But she would bark at it and then like track something in the room away from the mirror, right? Like go to another corner of the house or the bedroom. And so we watched her do it. Like we watched her bark at the mirror and then go from one end of the bed to the other and track something to the corner. And so I was like, we have a ghost. And Jason gets all freaked out. And I was like, I wonder if it's my grandma because it's her mirror and mirrors are portals, right? So what if she came and visited me in the mirror? And he didn't like that at all. He didn't like that thought, especially in our bedroom, you know, like, he didn't like that thought. So I moved the mirror to the garage.
You covered it with a blanket too, because didn't you think she was just seeing herself and freaking out?
Yeah, I covered it with a blanket first. She was still doing it, and so finally I wrapped it in the blanket like a gift, and I went and put it up against the wall in the garage. So like the mirror's facing the wall, crammed up against it with other stuff around it, because it bothered Jason that much. Like it did. And, you know, I would do things like, even to this day, it's not as bad, but every now and again, there will be something that freaks Minnie out. And
a couple of, like, when we first moved in here, I think after the first Christmas we had in this house, I was walking to get water in the middle of the night, and I got to the fridge, and, like, my heart just, like, dropped. Like, I had a sudden anxiety attack. Yeah. I guess that if it came out of nowhere, it'd be panic attack. Yeah. But it wasn't that bad. It was just my heart started like beating so fast, and it felt like it was in my stomach, and it was weird.
Yeah. So it does happen on occasion, and now what I do, this is just me. This took a turn. We started talking ghost stories. Now what I do is I say, Grandma, if that's you, I don't care if you visit my house. You're welcome to. Just don't scare my dogs. And the dogs are chill.
One time, Minnie, remember when you had that, like, thing of Epsom salt on your craft table? And she just started barking at it?
She's weird. She's a weird dog.
There was a ghost in that episode. Anyway, read about Scorpio's personality.
Oh, yes. I gotta get back into my phone. Okay, so the Scorpio personality is a profound chasm of infinite complexity, or at least how they project themselves. Accurate. They are difficult people to get to know. They are psychological trapdoors. They socialize from behind a double-sided mirror, always scanning, reading you while you only see your own reflection. It's true.
Maybe why Jason and I get along so well is we're both water signs.
Probably. They prefer to be the people asking the questions. They remove your skin with their perceptive scalpel and take inventory of your pulsing viscera. They probe and push. They know the little things that make you tick. True story. Your pressure points, the subtle ways to procure the answer they're seeking. Yes. They are keenly aware of power, its flows, and their position within its matrix. Absolutely. It's freaking weird, isn't it? That's probably the least...
But not in like a bad way.
No. But
it sounds bad, but like...
But it's true. If you think, especially if you know Jason at all. Yes. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. Despite their ability to be generally popular, there's something very lonely about Scorpios. They have a ruthless view of the world. Eat or be eaten. Every human interaction is a meeting of opposing powerful forces. A clashing of wants and needs where somebody wins and somebody loses. Their knowledge of other people's internal structures gives them an edge over the competition. They know how to play people against each other. So true. They are forthcoming and evasive at the same time, depending on what is situationally beneficial. They're blunt, but not tactlessly so.
Sometimes it's tactless.
They're intentional about the information they reveal.
Yeah.
True story. They're not liars. They do not espouse falsehoods, but they are masters of opening windows on certain truths while concealing others behind heavy curtains.
Remember when he first moved in and we're like, hey, where are we going to eat? And he's like, we're just going to eat. I'm like, okay, but where? And he's like, why do you want to know? I'm like,
because I want to know what I'm eating.
I want to know where we're going.
What are Scorpios afraid of? They aren't afraid of most things other people fear. Not darkness, not pain, not death. They confront these truths head on. They know that death is inevitable. Instead of instilling fear, this knowledge is the whetstone that hones their appreciation for life. Scorpios teeter on the fine edge of the unknowable. Life is more interesting that way.
That is so creepily weird.
It is creepily weird. And let me tell you, he dreams a lot. Like, he dreamt of meeting me well before he met me.
Yeah.
And his grandfather, who's passed away and has been, I think he was 16 when he passed away. He said he had a conversation with his grandpa when he was young, like young, less than 16, where he told his grandpa that he'd had a dream. I think this is right. That he met his wife and that she was tall and fluffy and dark-headed and lived far away. And that was me. And so when he met me, and especially in person, it was like, because we met on a video game. But when he met me in person, it was like, well, there you are. And I think that's so sweet.
That is so nice.
But it's creepy too, because it's like he dreamt me, whatever, and he talks to his grandpa in his dreams, and he has.
If anyone's a psychic, it's Jason
for sure. He had somebody in his past that passed away. We just found out a little while back he found out that she passed away at a certain date and time, a certain month and year. And it hit me like a ton of bricks because I believe in this crap too, right? I was like,
we're deeply spiritual.
Yeah. It's like, do you remember that dream that you had where you heard a woman's voice whispering to you? That was about the time that she was passing away, and he was, oh my God. I mean,
is that when we first moved in?
Pretty much, yeah.
When he heard someone's voice whispering to him, like when he was outside in his car, and he was hearing, Jason.
Yeah.
Jason. Mm-hmm. Is that...
And he had dreams. And he had dreams of a woman's voice saying, Jason, listen to her. Jason, whatever. Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this when it's not scary. I don't believe in scary ghosts.
No.
I can't let myself believe in scary ghosts.
No. But just,
I believe in angels and signs.
The people that you've loved still coming to visit.
Like, so I came out recently in this whole Facebook post, and it was like a very big deal for me, and like I couldn't sleep the night after.
Mm-hmm.
And then I dreamt of a cardinal and a blue jay. And my grandfather, we always used to say he was a cardinal because he was he went to school and the mascot was the cardinal. And it was very much like whenever we saw a cardinal, we'd be like, okay, that's Pawpaw coming to visit.
Oh, well, and they do say that too, that cardinals are symbols of ones that have gone before. And
yeah, anyway, so it's a very big symbol in our family. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw this bird, this blue jay, and Ollie, who I say is just a reincarnation of me, and that time is weird, and so we're on the planet at the same time. It makes a lot of sense if you know me, and you have, nobody really knows Ollie, but...
Oh, we know Ollie.
But me and Ollie are pretty much the same person. And that weird, like, we're very similar, except he's a dog, and I'm a human.
Anyway.
So the more, like, the complexities of our brains aren't the same. But in the dream, Ollie was chasing this blue jay, and I don't think I've ever seen a blue jay before, but in my head, I was like, oh, that's a blue jay. You know, when, like, because you can't dream of things you haven't seen before. And I told Mom, and we looked up what blue jays meant, and it basically means, like, you revealed the truth, you're, like...
Owning your truth.
And it was like...
Whoa.
And it was like, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And, like, I woke up, and I'm like, okay, that was a cardinal, that was Pawpaw blue jays, I don't know what that means. But it made me cry when I woke up, because I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Southern family, religious family, they aren't always... Anyway.
Okay, so what are they afraid of? Oh, I already said that.
Yeah,
they do fear vulnerability, the feeling of being known. Darkness can be a hiding place. Pain can be an excuse not to trust. When they open up, it gives other people power over them, and Scorpios need to be in control. The illusion of control over themselves and other people is the only thing that makes them feel secure in the face of an otherwise uncertain world. A Scorpio's favorite color is irrelevant. Everything looks black in the dark.
Okay, also, he's colorblind.
He's colorblind. And he likes black, like most of his shirts are black, dark,
because it's a color he can see.
Exactly. And how crazy is that? He sounds sinister, but he's really the sweetest man on the planet.
He's a really good guy. Hold on.
Really good.
Let's see, what's the cusp? Okay, yeah, he's nowhere near being a Sagittarius, but I read Sagittarius for him, and a lot of that fit too. Like, talking to animals.
I think I've heard that a lot of the...
You also have a birth chart.
Yeah, because he may have some Sagittarius, like...
Somewhere, probably in, like, Venus.
And I'm definitely on the cusp, because in some of them it's Sagittarius is whatever to December 22nd, and some of them are to December 21st, and I'm December 22nd. So, anyway.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of water in my birth chart, which just basically means I'm overly sensitive.
Okay, so, knowing that I am Jason's love, and this is funny.
Okay.
How to seduce a Scorpio. Wear an outfit that makes you look innocent. Pair it with slightly smudged eyeliner so they can tell you're a little unhinged on the surface.
Your staple is unhinged eyeliner. That's all the makeup you wear.
Yes, unhinged eyeliner. That is a mood. Anyway, dim the lights. Put on a mournful Joni Mitchell song and ask them very seriously what their deepest fear is. Suggest that this is something to do with their relationship to their mother.
This is very manipulative.
If they're quick to tell you that they love you, it's a test. Don't say it back until you're sure you both mean it. He did say he loves me first. Anyways, I just think that's funny.
Do you want to do our chart now and then we can move on to the other stuff?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know anything about charts.
It basically is just you have to do it too.
Oh. I forgot.
On the app, on the website, or whatever. Okay.
Oh, on this website?
Yeah. So it's basically, you say where you were born.
Okay. You click chart at the top, I guess.
Yep. And then
does it say get the app for you?
Oh, yeah. I'll just
no, it's okay. That's okay. I got it.
Okay.
So I was born in Stephenville, Texas. You have to do Texas too?
Yeah, that matters. And the birth year matters.
Texas. Did you know there's a Stephenville, Labrador, Canada?
It makes sense. A lot of guys are named Steven. Oh, okay. Can I go?
Oh my god. I'm
you
fucking
click
old.
it. Click it. And it'll...
Oh my god. I love the scroll. I feel like I'm playing the lottery.
Okay. I was born at 4:20, correct?
Yes, you were. And I was born at 9:27 p.m. Crap email address. This is riveting information.
Yeah, sorry. We'll probably cut this out. Oh, I already used that email.
Okay, mine's done.
Okay, tell yours, because I already used that email, so I have to put in another one.
Okay. So, it says if you're a super serious astrology friend, ask to see your chart, send them this.
So maybe we should take like a screenshot and we can put it up on our Facebook.
Sure. Okay. So, I'll do that in a second. So, it says my sun is in Sagittarius.
Mm-hmm.
The sun determines your ego, identity, and role in life. It's the core of who you are and is the sign you're most likely to already know.
That means you're Sagittarius.
No.
That means you're Sagittarius. Your sun sign?
My sun is in Sagittarius.
What's your moon sign?
Oh, we're not there yet.
No, but just...
Aries.
So you're a Sagittarius.
Nah.
One of your big three is the sign you already know.
Your sun is in Sagittarius, meaning you're fundamentally curious, restless, and independent. Yep. Mm-hmm. You have strong thought-through ideas about meaning and what's right or wrong. Interested in pushing the boundaries of the existent. You live to be free and to learn. It's in your 5th house, meaning you feel the need to distinguish yourself from others through romance, self-expression, creativity, and pleasure.
Yeah.
That's great. And I love the whole break free. You live to be free. My tattoos. Break free.
Okay, do you want me to read my sun sign?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Okay.
What's your sun sign, Hannah?
It is Pisces.
Well, duh.
The sun determines your ego, identity, and role in life. It is the core of who you are. Anyway, meaning your sun is in Pisces, meaning that you are fundamentally dreamy, insightful, and in your own world. Yeah. You exist on a chaotic plane of the divine that is not all material.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all material. Your rich imagination endows you with a strong intuition for hidden emotional currents. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When you take offense, it is deeply and you aren't necessarily interested in reconciliation. That is a little true. If you hurt me deeply enough, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to talk to you for a little bit. But it's always very much like I kind of
temporary.
I don't want to talk to them again. No. It is in your 7th house, meaning you feel the need to distinguish yourself from others through close relationships and long-term partnerships. My friends are really important to me.
Yeah, for sure. So this is you saying you're a Sagittarius, whatever, and I was like, no, but this thing said that your 22nd to whatever is Capricorn. I've made a point to look at it, but this is why the cusp comes into play because it went off of location, time, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's just barely there, probably. Yeah. Anyway, so my ascendant is in Leo. Your ascendant is the mask.
My ascendant is in Leo.
Wow. So this will...
It's probably where you were born. Where were you born?
Where you were born.
Okay, cool. So ascendant is where you were born.
Okay. Your ascendant is the mask you present to people. It can be seen in your personal style and how you come off to people when you first meet. Some say it becomes less relevant as you get older. It changes every 2 hours, so if it doesn't make sense, text your mom to confirm your birth time.
Okay, wait. Let's do this. So there are 12 signs. Mm-hmm. Were you born in the... Were you born in the morning?
The 9.
Okay. So 4, 6, 8, 9. Maybe.
Yeah. But almost, I was in the 9th hour.
You were born 6 hours after me?
5.
That makes... So
yeah, it's within the 6.
Yeah, because there are 12 signs every 2 hours.
Your ascendant is in Leo, meaning you come across as bright, good-natured, and magnetic. Okay. Your energy makes you seem either like a know-it-all or a live wire, but always a center of attention.
Me too.
This actually sounds...
Is it in your 1st house?
1st house.
Your ascendant. Yeah.
1st house.
Ooh, cool.
It's cool. I like that.
That makes a lot of sense because we get on very well.
Yeah. So my moon is in Aries, the 9th house. The moon rules your emotions, moods, and feelings. This is likely the sign you most think of yourself as, since it reflects your personality and when you're alone or deeply comfortable. Your moon is in Aries, meaning your emotional self is independent, energetic, and enthusiastic. Mm-hmm. You have a tendency to feel inadequate and overcompensate just because failure is a possibility. Mm-hmm. It's in your 9th house, meaning you find security and safety through philosophy, faith, education, and politics.
Mm-hmm. My moon is in Pisces, and it's basically the same as my sun.
Cool.
It didn't change at all.
Okay, cool. So my Mercury is in Capricorn. In the 5th house. Mercury determines how you communicate, talk, think, and process information.
That makes a lot of sense.
It also indicates how you learn. It is the mind's planet. Your Mercury is in Capricorn, meaning your intellect is conservative, practical, serious, efficient, and rational. You tend to be a poor communicator. No, that was not really. Oh, yeah. I was about to say that's not true, but I do stumble a lot. I have to think really hard about
And then a lot of the words you say can mean different things or...
Yeah. But think through things in a methodical and grounded way. It's in your fifth house, meaning you're curious about and inclined to analyze your love life, how to become happy, and your creative projects. Mm-hmm. It's pretty spot on.
My Mercury is in Pisces.
God, you're very, very Pisces.
Meaning my intellect is emotionally driven, dreamy, and a bit in the clouds.
True story.
We said that I'm a little bit of a blonde.
Yep.
I'm just a Pisces. Your imagination and intuition keeps you open to other people's ideas. Yeah. If they're good ideas.
True.
You're a good listener, though you may have a tendency for white lies.
True.
You prefer face-to-face communication? Absolutely. It's why I'm not doing that great in online school. It's in your 7th house, meaning that you are curious about and inclined to analyze your closest relationships and how they affect you. That's a little too real. That's my, thought that keeps me up at night. Sometimes I'm like, what does it mean?
What does it mean?
Okay, Venus.
So my Venus is in Sagittarius. Venus determines how and what you love. Mm-hmm. It indicates how you express affection and the qualities you're attracted to. Your Venus is in Sagittarius, meaning your romantic side is curious and easily bored. You enjoy your independence and aren't willing to compromise that freedom for a relationship that doesn't expand the boundaries of your world.
That's a little too accurate.
It's in your 5th house, meaning that for you, love is often expressed in romance, self-expression, creativity, and pleasure.
Okay.
True story.
My Venus is in Aries.
Okay.
Meaning my romantic side is enthusiastic, impulsive, and direct. Yes. You fall in love quickly and out of love just as fast. Yeah. You tend to be forthright and direct with your crushes, even if you haven't confessed. Mm-hmm. You make a lot of inside jokes, touch them a lot, and maintain eye contact. That's a little too true, because when I have a crush, I'm always, doing this, hitting them. Just, slapping them, come on, don't say that. So, it's very much... you alternate between seeming demanding and disinterested in the relationship. A little too real. It's in your 8th house, meaning that for you, love is often expressed in darkness, taboos, rebirth, sex, and transformation. Yep.
Groovy. My Mars is in Leo.
My Mars is in Taurus.
12th house. Mars is the planet of aggression. It determines how you assert yourself, take action, and the energy that surrounds you, particularly in your sex life, your ambitiousness, and when you're angry. Your Mars is in Leo, meaning you assert yourself in a way that is authoritative and persuasive, and you push things forward with confidence and gusto. It's in your 12th house, meaning you put a lot of energy into privacy, secrets, and introspection.
That's real.
Yeah.
Okay, mine is Taurus. So, meaning I assert myself in a way that is practical, concrete, and relaxed. Yeah, I would say so. When I assert myself, I'm very much listen, I'm not going to move. And you push through things forward stubbornly. Yeah. You rarely make the first move. Yep. It is in your 9th house, meaning you put a lot of energy into philosophy, faith, education, and politics.
Cool. So my Jupiter is in Cancer. One of the 2 social planets. Jupiter rules idealism, optimism, and expansion.
Mine is in Cancer too.
Yeah. It's also very philosophical. Your Jupiter is in Cancer, meaning you grow and find understanding through emotions, intuition, and care. It's in your 11th house, meaning you find success through social status, including platonic and casual friends, along with your hopes, wishes, and dreams.
Yeah. I think that's true for both of us.
Yeah, for sure. So my Saturn is in Virgo. The other social planet, Saturn rules responsibility, restrictions, limits, boundaries, fears, and self-discipline. Your Saturn is in Virgo, meaning you struggle with perfectionism, a critical eye, workaholic tendencies, and your need to be pure. It's in your 1st house, meaning you've had difficulties with yourself and self-image. Oh, man. And because it's your 1st house, your Saturn in Virgo is hyper-present in your personality. Wow.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine, Saturn is in Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning I struggle with a lack of focus, restless energy, and getting bored easily.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It is in your 10th house, meaning you've had difficulties with goals, success, and responsibility. Absolutely.
Uranus is in...
Uranus. Just kidding. Uranus. That's how you say the name.
I was about to make a joke, and then I laughed, and so it fell flat. Uranus. I'll never forget, just a little aside, I'll never forget little Jonah, my cousin's little boy, so my second cousin.
He's my third cousin, right?
Yes, when he was learning the planets, when he was a little teeny tiny tag. He's very
really
intellectual.
smart.
He's very intellectual. He was learning the planets, and there was a song, and it said Uranus, whatever, and we had always said it Uranus, like literally Uranus, and made a ha ha ha, and he was like, it's Uranus, and I'll never forget that, just the way he said it as a little bitty tag. Anyway, Uranus stays in each sign for 7 years, meaning it rules a generation more than a person.
What's yours?
Scorpio.
Oh, that makes sense for Gen X.
It rules innovation, rebellion, and progress.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Your Uranus is in Scorpio, meaning other generations are shocked by your generation's passionate intensity, hunger for power, and manipulativeness.
Yeah.
It's in your 4th house, meaning that for you, this manifests in rebelling against dated expectations about the home and family. I freaking love it.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
My Uranus is in Aquarius, meaning other generations are shocked by my generation's unconventionality,
Intellectuality.
That's a really funny word to step a lot. And detachedness. It's in your 7th house, meaning that for you, this manifests in rebelling against dated expectations about close relationships and long-term partnerships.
Wow. My Neptune is in Sagittarius. Neptune stays in each sign for around 14 years, meaning it rules a generation more than a person. It rules dreams, imagination, and the unconscious. Your Neptune is in Sagittarius, meaning your entire generation finds inspiration through its expanded horizons, a desire for freedom, optimism, and curiosity. It's in your 5th house, meaning that for you, this manifests in your ideal, verging on unrealistic and impractical, about romance, self-expression, creativity, and pleasure. It's pretty spot on.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Are we on Neptune? Where are we?
Yeah, Neptune.
Okay, mine is in Aquarius. The same as my Uranus. So. I guess Gen Z is Aquarius.
Yeah.
Honestly, makes a lot of sense. Meaning my entire generation finds inspiration through detached analysis and intellectual pursuits. Mm-hmm. I'd say that Gen Z is very smart as a whole.
Yeah. Very awakened. Like, if not smart yet, getting there. Like,
smart in things that, like, matter.
Yeah.
It's in my 6th house, meaning that for me, this manifests in my ideal, verging on unrealistic and impractical about routines. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And last but certainly, oh my goodness, certainly not least, Pluto. My Pluto is in Libra. Pluto stays in each sign for up to 30 years, meaning it rules a generation more than a person. It rules power, intensity, obsession, and control. Your Pluto is in Libra, meaning your generation's psyche is comparatively indecisive, superficial, and people-pleasing. It's in your 3rd house, meaning you personally are transforming outdated knowledge and played-out familiarity. I like it.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
My Pluto's in Sagittarius.
Okay.
Each sign, right, your Pluto's in Sagittarius, meaning my generation's psyche is comparatively positive, free-spirited, curious, optimistic, forward-looking, independent, and confident. It is in your 4th house, meaning your personality, or you personally are transforming outdated structures of the home and family.
I like it. It's really cool. So what's funny to me, we still have a lot to discuss, but what's funny to me is that we started this episode, like, not feeling it, not the episode necessarily, but just not feeling well. Mm-hmm. And thinking that this was going to be just full of hot takes and crankiness. And I don't know about you, but I feel better already.
I do feel better.
I think this podcast is our therapy.
I don't know about podcast being I think it's just really interesting. Like, okay, say what you will about astrology, but it's very interesting how accurate all of it is when you go into a deep analysis of it. And it's not just horoscopes. It's not just like
Cleo the psychic telling you
general blanket statements.
Yeah. I mean, they seem general, but when you apply it to yourself, it's like
that's how astrology works.
Yeah.
But when you know your whole like birth chart, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And because everything develops your personality, like, and I think I believe in astrology a lot because I'm always like, well, fate.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay that I'm feeling this way because, like, something's gonna happen because this is what's meant to happen because it's fate. Mm-hmm. Like, it's written in the stars, literally.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I like astrology so much.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you have quizzes for us. That we're supposed to be
Oh,
nice
yes.
and fun.
I do have quizzes. Okay. So I found some quizzes just so we could have a little bit of a, like, blanket of content. But
Little did we know, I literally said to her earlier this week, the episode doesn't need to be all about astrology. I don't think we could fill an hour with it. Yeah, I think we've done that and beyond.
Okay, so the first quiz, I put it in our shared notes app.
Oh.
About...
I need to pull it up?
Podcast. Well, I think we should do it...
Oh, simultaneously.
Simultaneously.
Save time that way. Hold, please. Which one are we going to do first?
And the first one that I added.
Oh, that's not it.
Room temp. The room temp?
Yeah.
Okay, the first one. So, it's a bunch of BuzzFeed quizzes, because we all love BuzzFeed quizzes. And then this quiz is called, This is So Weird, but we can guess your zodiac sign based on your pizza preferences.
Okay.
So, pick some pizza. It looks like we should describe this, so...
One looks like it's got red sauce, but it's got mozzarella and maybe pineapple and like basil and onions.
Are you sure?
Chicken? Is it artichoke hearts? Chicken? I don't know.
Are you sure it's red sauce or is it barbecue sauce?
Maybe it's barbecue sauce.
And then the next one, it looks pretty... It doesn't look like it has a lot of sauce.
And it's mushrooms, basil probably.
Whole tomatoes.
The other one is like
It's a margarita pizza.
Yeah.
And then the last one is just
cheese pizza.
Cheese and that looks really good though with like the bubbly cheese.
I'm gonna go with the first one.
I think I'm gonna go with the bubbly cheese pizza. Okay. Pick some more pizza. Okay.
So next is it looks like a deep dish pan pizza, not like Chicago, but pan pizza.
It has
mushrooms, onions, basil. It looks like the top pizza that I just picked, but deep dish.
And then the second one looks like it's spinach.
The other one has olives, so no thanks. And the other one's cheese.
I think I like the first pizza. The deep, like the pan pizza.
Yeah. Now we pick more pizza. Pepperoni. Is that pineapple on it, or is it just pepperoni? No, it looks like pepperoni.
It looks like round table pepperoni, those circulars, and then margarita pizza. The third one has olives on it. And an egg? Is that an egg?
That is an egg.
I'm gonna go with pepperoni.
In this case, I'm gonna go with margarita, I think.
Pick some more pizza. Okay, so the first pizza...
It looks like a chicken bacon ranch.
It does look like a chicken bacon ranch. The second is pepperoni. The third has olives, and...
The fourth is cheese.
Fourth is cheese. I'm going to go with the first one.
Yeah. And finally, the last one is a margarita, but it looks deep dish.
And, like, pineapple. It's not as... Pineapple pizza. Is it... That the third one looks gross. I don't know how to describe it.
It looks like it has goat cheese or something dripping off of it.
And
the
then
fourth one is cheese.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with pineapple.
I picked the second one. Okay.
I picked the second one too. What'd you get?
Mine is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius.
I got the same answer.
It says you're obviously a fire sign.
Yeah, well.
Am I a fire sign?
Your sun is in Sagittarius, based on that app.
Right. But am I a fire sign? I'm an earth sign.
But, okay. According to that chart, you're a fire sign.
Oh, okay.
Because your sun sign is the, like, sign that you're like, oh, okay. Well,
that's... Sagittarius is a fire sign?
Yeah.
See? I'm learning things. You can always push yourself to be the best you can possibly be.
I got the same answer, and I'm not. I have a lot of Aries and Leo in my chart, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not the best.
It's not like it's...
I mean, it's sort of, kind of, not really guessed mine.
Okay, plan your dream vacation and it will accurately and surprisingly guess your zodiac sign.
Okay. So where are we headed? First one is Hawaii. Second one's wine country. Third is Tokyo. And the last one is anywhere that's fun.
I'm going to go with Hawaii.
I'm going to go with Tokyo because I've been to Hawaii.
Hawaii.
What the heck just happened? I think I touched the...
If you click the pictures and you go to Unsplash.
Got you.
Okay.
I did it again.
Because you're clicking towards the bottom of it. So click in the middle.
Click the picture, not below it.
Okay, what should we do first? Go on a hot air balloon ride, go for a swim at a rooftop pool, try some local food, or shop at local stores.
Local food.
I'm gonna go for a swim.
You go, girl.
Where are we staying?
A cute Airbnb.
A friend's house.
Let's go camping.
A nice hotel. Nice hotel. Who's coming with you? Family, just me, my significant other, my friends. Well, it's Hawaii.
And I picked Japan, so I'm going to say my significant other.
I'm going to say my family.
How long is the vacation? 2 weeks, 1 month, we'll see, or a few days I'm busy?
I'm going to do 2 weeks.
2 weeks as well.
Because I feel like that's a good time where you get settled and you have enough, you don't have to feel rushed.
Yeah. Why are you going on this trip? Because I want to have fun and see family and friends, to release the stress of life and relax, or to explore and go on adventures. Because I want to.
I'm going to do, well, to Hawaii, so there's a lot of exploring to do in Hawaii, but also I'm going to do to release the stress of life and relax, because I like swimming on vacation.
Yeah. And just being on the beach.
And just spending all day swimming.
And finally, what are you bringing back home? Some delicious snacks, a good book, some cute clothes, or trinkets?
I'm going to do some cute clothes.
I'm going to say trinkets, because that's just me.
You want me to go first, because you went first last time?
Sure.
Okay, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces?
Nice!
You're clearly a water sign. You're full of big emotions and extremely receptive. Oh my god.
She never learned how to read.
You tend to be secretive and only open up to those who you truly trust. Accurate.
And mine is Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. You're clearly an earth sign. You're a grounded soul through and through. You feel the happiest when you're out in nature and you love exploring.
Okay, here. I'm going to go back to that website we were just on. And I'm going to see what the cusp is for
Pisces?
For Sagittarius. Mm-hmm. I'm going to save this link real quick so I can share it. Okay. Signs. Sagittarius, December 22nd. And Capricorn is December. Okay, so I think you're on the cusp.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, yeah, so it makes sense.
Literally, it's a day.
It's a day.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
So next, how Gen Z are you based on your daily routine?
And as a refresher, she is Gen X / millennial. And I am Gen Z.
Like, no question.
But I'm an older Gen Z. I like to call myself a Zennial.
Yeah.
Because I'm on that cusp.
Okay, good morning. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Check my phone. I get up, ? Check the time. I make my bed.
I check my phone.
Yeah, I check my phone, but I also do that to check the time. So I guess I check the phone.
What's the main purpose of checking your phone?
Checking the time.
Okay. What are you having for breakfast? Waffles, acai bowl or smoothie, oatmeal, eggs and toast. Based on these options and how they look, I'm going to go waffles.
And I'm going eggs and toast. What are you doing next? Watching some TV, calling a friend, cleaning, or going on my phone again?
Okay. When are we saying we wake up in the morning? Are we doing our usual time?
Are we doing the weekend? That's the next thing.
I say we'll do it on a Saturday, and it's like we wake up like 9:30.
Okay.
Like
I watch TV.
I'm going on my phone again.
So what's next? Going outside for a run, reading, making a TikTok, going on TikTok, or making my bed, cleaning my room? Of these, reading for me.
I'm going on TikTok.
What are you having for lunch? Pasta, chicken pot pie, salad, or pizza?
Oh, this pasta looks real. None of these look good.
No, they don't.
I think of these options, I'm going with pasta.
I'm going with salad.
You can never go wrong with pasta.
Who are you FaceTiming after lunch? My friends, my relatives, my mom and dad, because why not? My crush.
Okay, I'm going to do just calling because one of my grandmas doesn't have an iPhone. So I'm going to go my relatives. I guess if it's a Sunday.
Actually, I would do mom and dad because if it's a Sunday.
Okay.
Time to work out. What are you doing? Butt workout? Just some yoga? Ab workout? Leg or arm workout?
I'm going to do yoga.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like it's the closest to like the stretching I do.
It's time for dinner. What's cooking? Chinese food, leftovers, pasta, or steak?
Well, tonight we had Chinese food.
Let's go. It's Saturday.
Okay.
Finally, what are you doing before bed? Going on my phone one last time, texting my bestie goodnight, nothing, just going to bed, or my skincare routine?
Going on my phone one last time.
Yeah, me too.
We got the same answer?
Yeah. Incorrect.
Pretty Gen Z. You're pretty darn Gen Z. You probably have an elaborate skincare routine. Nope. But you're not especially interested in taking part in all the latest trends. I think that's accurate.
But still,
I don't know if I have like an extreme skincare routine.
Okay,
the last one. What's your aesthetic in Harry Potter house to match? We're big Harry Potter fans, so should we...
I'm just laughing because you almost said Harry Potter pen. We're big Harry Potter fans.
We're very big Harry Potter fans. So with this, should we say what our house is?
Yeah.
Before?
We've done this extensively.
We've taken
all of
Pottermore.
them. Yeah, we've done it.
Okay. My answer changes pretty much. I'm either always a Hufflepuff or a Gryffindor.
And I'm always a Ravenclaw.
A Ravenclaw.
So.
Jason's a Ravenclaw too. Ian's a Slytherin.
Accurate.
Okay.
What's your favorite color? Neutrals, pastels, dark colors, or neons?
My favorite color is like a sky blue. Would that be a pastel?
Yeah, and mine's purple, so that's a dark color, I assume. Right?
Okay. Yeah. What's your favorite food? Soup, fast food, or pizza?
Or none of these. None of these for me.
Fast food.
Which picture is most aesthetically pleasing?
So we have plants, a beach, like a blurry desk.
Or people next to a building. Beach for me.
I'm gonna go with plants.
And pet, dog, wolf, cat, or field mouse?
That field mouse looks so cute.
That field mouse looks like a... Ugh.
It looks like a hamster.
It looks like a rodent, and I'm not a fan. I'm going with the dog. Okay, Hannah. Bleeding heart for animals.
The field mouse looks so cute. I'm gonna go field mouse.
Candy, Milky Way, Twix, dark chocolate, or Twizzlers?
Twix.
Twix for me too.
Bedroom. So it's like the walls are pretty, like they're gray neutral.
What's that ladder that goes up to a loft? That's kind of cool. Anyway, the next one is like got pink flowers on the bedside and it's all white. It's
like pretty
ivory.
It's like a guest room.
Yeah, the third one's like more natural,
like rustic, and the last one is more like a modern, like New York apartment.
I like the rustic.
I think I like the rustic too.
Yeah. Drink soda, lemonade, coffee, or tea.
Soda.
Diet.
Is it sweet tea?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go soda because it doesn't clarify.
Outfit. It's like a long t-shirt with a skateboard. And
then like a dress on a bike. And then some
denim shorts.
It's like cowboy with a bug. And then it's like a dark shirt and some striped pants.
I don't ride skateboards, but I like that first one best.
I'm gonna go. I think the dress and the bike. You want to go first?
Mine's funny.
Okay, ready? Mine is cottagecore and Hufflepuff. That's pretty... I always said I like cottagecore, and that's like my dream.
I don't like mine.
Okay, well, you're the spitting image of a stereotypical flower child. You like to be outdoors, and you have a fun and relaxing personality. Even though I don't go outdoors a lot, I really do like going outdoors when it's like full of plants. Mm-hmm. You value honesty and are extremely nice. Everyone deserves a second chance in your book. Yeah. What's yours?
Mine is Vacation Dadcore and Slytherin.
That's pretty accurate.
Slytherin?
No, Vacation Dadcore.
Your vibe is a dad at the beach.
Yeah.
You go to any party at any time, and you mainly fly by the seat of your pants. Okay, I didn't read the description. I just don't like the title. But that's true. You're cunning Vacation Dadcore and Slytherin.
What's the picture?
A beach.
Oh, mine is like one of the cottages in Holiday.
You're cunning and clever and tend to get what you want. You are sometimes described as laid back, easygoing, and the occasional unhinged. I mean, the description is spot on, but I don't understand the whole thing.
Okay, that was our last quiz.
Sweet. So, because I thought we were going to be flipping the negative around, or positive around to negative, I thought pet peeves would be a good thing to
So maybe instead of hot takes, we can go through a list of pet peeves, and we can just say, oh yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
Instead of a hot take.
I did take a list off the website. It was like 60 common pet peeves that annoy most people or something like that. So this is very likely going to annoy you too. But I just wrote down the ones that annoyed me out of that 60.
Okay, so we're going to do pet peeves now.
Cool.
So go ahead, read those list of pet peeves you wrote down.
So the first one is people that ride their brakes. Now, I know you're not a driver yet, and you kind of ride brakes right now, but you should, because brakes are better than gasoline accelerators.
I get what that's saying.
But yeah, when you're in traffic, and the flow of traffic is going along, and somebody's just tapping their brake in front of you a lot, and it makes you have to slow down or stop and tap your brakes, and it's like chain reaction bullshit. Or like, especially if their brakes are not perfect, and you're riding with them, and they're like, you hear it, you feel it. That's a big one for me, obviously. You'll get there. Second one is not emptying the trash can when it's full and just stacking stuff on top of it. And continue to do that until it's overflowing. That happens in this house. That happened today. I watched 4 people. 3. Never mind. That would be me. I did actually put some trash on it, but I didn't have time at that moment to take it out.
What did I do with that?
I don't. Okay, 2 then.
The men in our house.
Open. It's clearly full. I didn't have time to take it out earlier, but why should I have to take it out all the time? I mean, that's how I feel right now, being at home all the time.
I think with me, if I see it's full, I just leave it on the counter. I don't put it on the trash can.
I'm aware. Anyway, that's a huge one. I also cannot stand when people leave open food containers on the counter. That's just a personal one. I added this myself. It wasn't on the list. Like chip bags.
I try to close them.
I know you do. There's a person that is in the living room right now that will open chips. I'll get chips especially for him, and he'll eat them, and he won't put them away. So they're open, and if I don't see them and close them, they stay out all night, and they're stale by the next day, and it's such a waste to me. I hate that. I'm constantly going behind people and closing things up. Micromanagers. Can't stand it. I've had a few of those in my day.
I feel like that's like teachers too, right?
I mean, teachers I almost understand because their job is to stay on top of you and make sure you do what you're going to do. However,
I think there's a difference.
It goes a little too
once
far
you get into high school. Yeah. In high school, you shouldn't have to micromanage your students.
Yeah, it's true.
My sophomore year English teacher. It's been 3 years since I was a sophomore, and I'm still angry.
Yeah, perpetually late people. I worked for one of those, and when we were in the office, and she was having to travel,
there's a difference between meetings and traveling.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about parties and stuff like that either, because sometimes it's endearing. Like you know that they're going to be late.
KK.
Like KK.
We say the party starts at 4:30, but actually starts at 5.
Yeah, so she'll get there in time.
I think it's different with family and people you're working for.
Well, it was just hard for me supporting someone who had an issue getting to meetings.
Because you scheduled those meetings.
Yes, I did, and I would allow travel time between and all these things, and me, I would allow at least 30 minutes, and I would warn her, like, it's time to go. You only have 15 minutes now. She thought it took 15 minutes to get anywhere. And then, of course, when you get to the meeting, especially if it's a high-profile type meeting, you're going to be saying hi to people, and you're going to be wasting time and whatever. If you get there 15 minutes early, you could get all that out of the way before the meeting starts.
It's like theater. Like, 15 minutes early is on time.
Yeah.
On time is late.
I'm always early wherever I go. I would rather...
You're not as early as we used to be.
Well, you know why?
Mr. Jason, like, Mr. Stereotypical, like, gotta do everything right when we're leaving.
Sometimes
that's cute.
It's endearing too, because usually it's stuff like making sure that the dogs are taken care of and making sure that whatever. It's funny. People that interrupt. You're guilty of it. I am guilty of it. Everyone in this house is guilty of it. But interrupt me. How about that? I'm just kidding. No, especially it happened earlier today. I was literally staring at him, telling him something or asking a question, telling him something that happened, and he just.
Oh, was that yesterday?
No, it was earlier today. And he just glossed over and he was like, da 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 da. And I was like, can I finish my story, please?
I thought you were talking about yesterday. It happened yesterday when you were talking about, like, the cabinet. And you were talking about Animal Crossing. Was that today?
That was today.
I thought it was yesterday.
No, that was today. You took a nap between and then a nap.
I didn't take a nap.
Oh, you didn't either. I didn't either. But yes.
I don't like... I don't like when people interrupt the teacher. Like in like in high school, especially when a teacher is talking and then someone goes, "Yeah, blah, 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 how many points was that?" I'm like, dude,
not important.
Just let her talk. Granted, now that I'm a procrastinator and paying, I'm like, it's only 20 points. I don't have.
Oh my god. People that chew loudly or smack loudly while they're eating.
Yes.
It gets on my nerves. Sometimes it's on. I can tell that it's intentional to get under my under my skin. I can tell the difference. Like when somebody's really enjoying something, I try to like reconcile the difference. Like they're really enjoying that. But after like 4 or 5 minutes of it, I'm like, you're really enjoying that, aren't you?
Okay, calm down. Do you need to get a room with your food? Remember, okay, when you were dating Jason and you were talking on Skype a lot, I'd hear him chew and I'm like, oh my god, I hate hearing him chew. And sometimes he would mute himself while he was chewing.
Yeah.
And now that we live in a house together, all common respect and decency has flown out of the window.
He can't mute himself. Living in
He could be a little quieter.
It's just...
Wrap a lip around that chip.
That's what my daddy used to say. Talkers during movies. Now, it's like, to me, this one, the way it was worded, was people who ask questions during movies.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that if it's quiet. Like, if you lean over to me and you say, who's that guy again? Or what did I miss? Or, you know, whatever. But, like, oh my god. Gosh, she's so ugly. Why does, you know, like, commentators, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Me and Ian do that.
I know, it's annoying. I'm always like...
Granted, we are quiet about it, and it's not like we're being loud, but if you're sitting right next to us... Oh my god, one time, remember, when we were in a Marvel movie, and it was the end credit scene, and Captain America shows up, and I was... All movie etiquette went out, because a lot of people laughed, and I was like, oh my god, he's so hot! And two people in front of us started laughing, and I was like...
Oh my gosh, somebody's here. Yeah, that's so funny. No filter. Non-apology apologies.
Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way.
I'm sorry I made you feel that way.
I'm sorry you were offended.
Yeah. David Dobrik, who is a problematic effed up mother effer.
Yeah,
right
I haven't watched any of it, but I'm hearing what's going on.
So, he said in a recent apology about one of his many travesties.
It was like...
No, he said, to those of you who were offended, I'm sorry you were offended. To those of you who weren't offended, I'm sorry that they were offended.
That is not...
I know.
It's like a notes apology.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is like referring to? A notes apology?
Mm-mm.
So people who, especially influencers, when they are caught something, they usually type
and then they
apology
screenshot
in
it.
the notes.
Yeah. I know what that is. So,
I also don't like when people are trying to make themselves look more sorry than they are. I'm like, if you're not that sorry, just own up to the fact that you're not that sorry, okay? Like, don't act like you're sorry if you're not.
Yeah. But even, like, non-influencers, like, this used to happen to me. Like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. No, you're not.
If you were sorry I felt that way, you'd be actually apologizing.
Right. Exactly. So, hashtags. Now, not just hashtags, but overuse of hashtags. I've gotten used to hashtags. I understand the concept of hashtags now. But... I mean, especially being on Instagram and trying to make the podcast Instagram fly. You know, hashtags are how people find you.
We have, 6 hashtags on a post?
Yeah.
After we...
Yeah. Usually. 6 to 8 max. But I understand it, but we always use the same ones, too. Right? And very rarely do I add another one. But, anyway, I understand the concept.
People who...
But, tell the whole story in hashtags. Like, they make their posts and they're like, hashtag...
Wednesdays, am I right? Hashtag fail. Hashtag burned my cake. Hashtag.
Now, I will say this. Comedians are funny. Yeah, I love reading the hashtags of comedians just because it's fun. They do it on purpose.
But when people take it so seriously, it's kind of cringy.
Yeah. Hashtag mom life. Hashtag
she pooped in my shirt. Hashtag.
Yeah. We said yeah. It's the same. Anyways, spoilers. Now, this is problematic for me because spoilers, the internet is so, ugh.
I think it's better than it was, because now...
People kind of know to, shut the fuck up. Or...
Okay.
Back in my day, there was a social site called LiveJournal. That was how I met a lot of the people,
you've talked about it
before. And you used to be able to, type code, HTML code into your post, so it would break, do a page break. It would be all the way down. It could be, I can't talk. Be behind a see more, like Facebook does now when your post is too long.
Yeah.
But you could intentionally put it in, spoilers ahead. Don't click if you don't want to know, whatever. I wish we could do that.
I mean, you can on Instagram comments and YouTube comments, but speaking of that, on Twitter. It annoys me. So, a lot of people have, shows muted so they don't see spoilers. I don't do that because I like reading spoiler-free reviews. Just because I'm like, okay, this episode is going to be rough. But I hate when people go spoilers and it's in the same tweet and they say the spoiler. And, like, I have to scroll to get past your tweet, okay? I can't just close my eyes and scroll.
That's why I don't like the tweets.
Spoilers are in the way they're supposed to be formatted, right? Getting all, like, purist. The first tweet is spoilers ahead thread. Or, like, one out of how many. And then they make it a thread. So if you don't want to see it, you don't click see the thread. You just scroll. You're like, okay, I'll come back to that later.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But when it's in the same tweet, or they do spoilers, and then they don't put enough spaces where it goes see more.
Yeah, I know. Apparently that's a good pet peeve for you. Spammy chats or texts. Now, this applies to anything really, but forums, for example. People that just respond repeatedly to, you can even go back and edit your, like, I will frequently, like, post something and then realize that I wanted to say something else, and instead of creating a new message, I'll go back and edit edit, forgot to mention, blah, blah, blah. But others like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Also,
I have a pet. You do this to me sometimes.
What's that?
Well, you go, hey, so blah, 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 can you do this? And I'm like, okay. And I'm getting up and I'm putting clothes on. And then I don't answer because I'm getting ready to come out. And you're like, hello? And I'm like, I'm coming.
I know, but if you don't answer me on to me, that's an etiquette thing. Like, if you say, yeah, I'll be there in a minute. Or, okay, Mom, be right there. Or, yeah, I'll be out in a minute.
But the way we text each other is very much you ask me something and then I come out and I'm like, hey, what's up?
Well, and that's great. But if you're going to take the time to get dressed and, all that stuff too, and maybe it's time sensitive. Usually I'm not just like, hello. There's some reason behind it.
Yeah, I know. It's just, it isn't like a, makes me question the world. It just makes me slightly annoyed. So, like, I'm going, come on.
And I like long text messages. Like, I'm a notorious sender of long text messages. And as long as the other person has an iPhone, it's not an issue. It'll just send the one message in a really long block of text, right? But I'm notorious for sending long blocks of text to people that don't have iPhones. And so it sends multiple messages. It breaks it up however it's going to break it up. And sometimes they don't send in order either. So I get the confusion. So I try to be mindful of people's phone.
It also depends on how you're writing, because you could be sending multiple texts as, like, sentences.
That's true, yeah.
And some people who you send a block of text to, they usually only respond to, like, the last sentence.
Yeah.
So if you want to make sure they see everything,
Yeah. But I usually will give a warning to, like, I have a novel to write, so be prepared.
Like how I sent my analysis of the first Falcon and Winter Soldier episode to you. I said, like, 3 texts.
Yeah. Anyways.
If you've seen the new episode, the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, oh my god.
No spoilers, Hannah.
The ending made me so mad.
Maybe next week, when people have actually watched it, perhaps I'll share the phrase that you shared with me.
Okay, here, I'm going to say it, and then you watch the episode, because then there are a lot of... Okay, I said, this saltine cracker of an ugly white man regarding to a character in the show.
Okay. The next thing is totally a first world problem. But slow internet.
Oh, I hate it.
Okay, especially for us. We live in friggin' Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Why?
It should be faster.
Why?
I hate.
And also, like, cell phone signal. Why? Why is it shitty?
We're in our house in the middle of a town.
Yeah. Even the internet speed between our modem and router to your room is a problem.
I have to turn off my Wi-Fi when I'm in my room so I can actually look at stuff.
Insane. First world problem. Button pushers. I mean this both figuratively and literally.
Like clicking a
pen?
No,
clicking a pen. I've been doing that the whole episode. No, I'm talking about, so maybe you're in an elevator or waiting for an elevator and you hit the button and it's lit up and somebody comes up behind you and they hit the button too. You're like, dude, it's lit up. Like, you don't need to hit it again. Or hitting it over and over and over like it's going to make the elevator come faster. Or when you get on the elevator and you start clicking, like, come on, shut the door. Like, rude, unnecessary. Just have some fucking patience, man. But also,
I mean, if you're gonna do that and you see someone coming that you don't want to talk to, I'm like, you can do that. It's okay. But make sure they're far enough where they don't see you clicking it and the door's closed.
like casual looking at the ceiling. Figuratively, people that know you and know your buttons and know what your hot triggers are and everything, and then just like poke at them and prod. And you and your brother do it to me a lot. And it makes me crazy.
You do realize they do it with love, right? And when you start getting actually like mad, we usually stop.
Yeah, but then under your breath, you're making fun the whole time. Happened a lot this week. But I'm trying to understand that everybody was just in a mood because school.
Be quiet. We're having a meeting.
So when they get too loud, during my work day, they get too loud, and frequently I have a meeting that I'm at least having to listen to. Like I'm on mute, my voice is not being heard, their voice can't be heard, but I'm trying to listen, and I'll say, guys, can you be quiet? I have a meeting. And so now that's the joke. Every time I'm sitting at my desk, I was like, can y'all be quiet? I'm having a meeting. Anyways.
Well, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
I was sitting in your chair because me and Ian were making like a alignment chart of what we call paper.
Dorks.
You were talking, and Jason was playing a video game and was being loud, and we're like, can you be quiet? We're having a meeting.
But also, I told you to be quiet because he couldn't hear. He was playing a game where he has to be listening for footsteps and stuff. Anyway, that's beside the point. So, formal social media departure announcements. I'm gonna be leaving Facebook. I'm deleting my Facebook. Thank you all.
Or be like, I thought you were better than this. I'm unsubscribing. I'm unfollowing. Like, okay, it's not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure.
Exactly. Or in a group. I used to love your posts, but now I belong to, I think you do too now. I belong to a group or a page on Facebook. I like a page on Facebook called Tales of a Kitchen Witch.
I don't follow her.
It's hysterical. Like, it's probably 80% of the stuff that I share on Facebook these days. Because it's just funny. There's a lot of funny stuff. There's a lot of witchy stuff. It's just funny stuff. Mm-hmm. And she frequently will say, it's one woman running it, and she'll frequently say, remember, this is a page, not a group. She does Shouty Thursdays, where if she's having a shitty day, she'll like all caps, I don't understand, blah, 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 Shouty Thursday, shout out in the comments or whatever. And so people in all caps will be like, I'm fucking tired of blah, blah, blah. And it's funny, she'll say, but at the end of it, she does a disclaimer. Remember, this is a page, not a group. If you don't want to participate, you can go, Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's her page. It's, different than a group. So yeah, no need to announce your departure. Backseat drivers. I know you don't understand that either, but
I mean, technically, you backseat drive me, but also you're teaching me how to drive.
You're supposed to.
You have to.
I think everybody will understand backseat drivers. And then I used this word just a moment ago. Overuse of the word literally, or misuse of the word literally. I watch an influencer on YouTube who also has a vlog channel, and she uses literally probably 60 times a minute. Like, we are literally going to eat right now. Well, not right this second, because you're still talking to the camera. Just nuts. Anyway. When you lose something and someone says, well, where's the last place you had it? Well, if I knew that, I'd know where it was, bitch.
Okay, but to be fair,
that's trying to trigger your
useful
memory.
And trying to retrace your steps.
But, it's already frustrating enough. You can't find X, Y, or Z. Misplaced outlets in a house, or not enough outlets, or...
Oh, that's another one of mine where it's like, why did you put that door there? And with, like, architects?
Yeah.
Why did you put that door there?
No sense whatsoever. Yeah. My thing, our house has a lot of good places for outlets, but there's a lot of like places. I'm like
on that hallway.
Yeah.
What would you even plug in there?
That's like for a vacuum, because that's a long hallway area. Yeah. So it would be plugging in a vacuum and being able to make it all the way through. But there are some that just don't make sense. And then we have a really cool outlet in our kitchen that has the USB port.
Oh yeah.
Thing, which is really badass, but it's on the kitchen counter. Like, why would you put it right at the kitchen counter? And why not make all of them that way now? Or at least the ones that are in the bedroom and, whatever.
A bathroom.
It makes sense, right?
You don't have to maybe put it in, like, the living room, but...
Jason actually bought some other ones. We just haven't switched them out yet. I don't know where we would put them. Maybe on the ends of the island, kitchen island.
Oh, yeah,
that would make sense.
You used to have a kitchen table, and now we just got the island.
Yeah. Okay, we're almost done. People who recline their airline seat without warning. That's a terrible one. Story time. I was pregnant with you, like, I say barely pregnant. That's always been somebody else's pet peeve in my past. You're either pregnant or you're not. You're not barely pregnant. What I mean is, you're only 13 weeks-ish pregnant. Like, you're barely in the second trimester. And I was flying from Mississippi, where we lived at the time, to Texas to visit my best friend, who just had a baby. And I was flying on a puddle jumper, a small airplane from Jackson, Mississippi to, like, wherever first, and then getting on a bigger plane. And it was so uncomfortable anyway, just because I'm a tall woman, whatever. But I was smack dab in the middle section of this plane. It was scary. It was like Buddy Holly plane. Felt like it was scary. And we were sitting on the tarmac, like, haven't even taken off yet, and this bitch in front of me, and you're not even supposed to do that yet. You're
That's
not supposed
dangerous.
Yeah. This bitch in front of me reclined her seat back, and it crushed my legs. And I was like, excuse me, ma'am, you're hurting my legs. Not a word. Ma'am, you cannot sit like that. It's touching my leg. I cannot feel my legs. Like, can you please sit up? Nothing. So I contacted the stewardess, and she came back, and I was like, I've asked this woman can you see that I don't have, is there another seat that I can move to? Because she's not going to put her seat up. And rather than tell that lady to put her seat up, the lady goes, I'm sorry, ma'am, there's nothing I can do, and this is a full flight. And I said, well, if I have a blood clot because I'm pregnant in the air and you're cutting off my leg circulation, I hope my family does something about it. And then the lady leaned her seat up. And I was like, she's not even supposed to have her seat reclined anyway. And then the stewardess was like, apparently this lady had a very Karen look to her face or something. Like, she didn't want to mess with her. But it was so uncomfortable. And then when we did get up in the air, she put her seat back again. Not like full back and crushed me immediately, but she did put the seat back, and I just knocked it with my knees the whole time. We had a bouncy flight.
Okay, listen. When I'm pregnant, right, someday, and I'd be like, I'm pregnant, can you not? I'm going to use pregnant as an excuse for people, like, to, like, get their behavior to change so much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pregnant, can you not? And then if they don't change, I'm like, wow, like, not so pro-life, are you?
Oh, this is another good story. So, misspelling your name when it's your email address.
That's a big problem with, like, marginalized communities, too.
Yeah, and I'm not a marginalized community, but I do have a strangely spelled name. So, my name's Cassie, but it starts with a K, right? And over the phone, it sounds like Kathy. Like, it does not matter how hard I try to pronounce it with the S's. It sounds like Kathy. And when I was an admin assistant in my first county job, I was setting up interviews with people and helping with the hiring process and whatever. And this one gentleman, my email address was literally my first name, dot last name, blah. And then my signature was my name. And I would sign it, thanks, Cassie, whatever. Mm-hmm. And the dude could not, like, he was like, thanks, Kathy, Casey, Carly, whatever. Like, he literally missed every time it was a different name.
Did he get hired?
He did. And what's funny was I just kind of played it off, but I was like, oh my God, he just still doesn't know my name. It's right there, dude. It's right there. And I would make jokes about it. And then finally somebody got mad. Like, one of the managers got mad. Like, are we sure we want to hire this guy? Because he can't even get that little detail right. And it's right there in front of his face. I'm like, I don't want to be mean to him, whatever. But I did.
That's a pet peeve of mine.
But I did go to him on this first day because I was responsible for introducing him to everyone and whatever. And so I went up to him and I said, hi, I'm Cassie. Hi. But I called him Fred all day. Hi, Fred. But I did tell him, I was like, just so you know, that, before he started, I was like, just so you know, my name is Cassie. And, you've named me a lot of things. Yeah. You named me a lot of things, but Cassie's my name. So I just wanted to let you know. So he was embarrassed, It was just not something that was on his radar. Clearly, he was very intellectual in other ways.
Right.
Right? But I went to him the first day. I was like, "Hi, Fred. Nice to meet you. I'm Cassie." And he's like, so I introduced him all around. This is Fred. I mean, Brian.
Yeah. That's a pet peeve of mine. People misspelling my name. But
your name is common, too. But
there's so many different spellings of Hannah.
Yeah, I guess.
And is she my aunt? Jason's aunt? Would she be my aunt?
Your great aunt. Yeah.
Yeah. She continued, on birthday cards, she's like, blah, 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 Hannah, without the extra H. I'm like, I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to say it.
My grandfather, my Arizona grandfather, before he passed away, he never spelled my name right either. I thought it was funny. But
I mean, and it's very much like she's a great aunt, so I see her a lot, but it's not like I have a lot of, communication with her, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. You know my name.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, and it's very much like I'm not going to correct you. It's not that big of a deal to me. It's just annoying. But my grandma, she texted me the day before my birthday. I was like, happy birthday. And I was like, thank you, but my birthday is tomorrow.
And then she texted me and was like, oh my God, I told Hannah happy birthday on the wrong day. I thought it was the 17th. Or 12th. Sorry. And I was like, no, it's tomorrow. She goes, oh, I'll text her then too. I'm like, well, she'll get double the birthday messages.
And it's like,
it's just funny.
And I wouldn't have corrected her, right, if she wasn't my grandma.
Yeah.
I was like, I want you to know my birthday, okay? It's like, I have a friend whose name is Petra, right? But I said, oh, hey, Petra, because I'd been watching Jane the Virgin, and there's a character named Petra. And she looked at me, she's like, hi, okay. I wouldn't normally do this, but since we're going to be in a drama class all together, it's Petra. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. And then I called her Petra, right? It's very much like a...
Well, it's just she educated you on how her name is pronounced.
Yeah.
And that's that. I mean, people often will say, hi, Casey. And I'm like... and I just moved past it. But in person, like when we're back to in person, face-to-face stuff, I'll be like, it's Cassie, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's not like that episode with Chandler being like, I let him think my name was this for this long. I can't correct it now.
Exactly. So quickly, the last three are group chats. Hate them.
Depends.
I don't want to be a part of a group chat.
I'm in a part of a group project, chat right now.
That's different. Just a casual group chat, no thanks.
I have several group chats with us.
No thanks. I delete them. No thanks. I even I hide the alert so it doesn't ding on my phone. But that's more than anything is that my phone exploding with people responding. It's not so bad with the two of us, three of us. But
how many group chats am I a part of?
I leave them all the time.
I have one with my classmates in a group project. I have one that's you, me, and Ian. Mm-hmm. I have one that's you, Jason, Ian, and me. I have one that's Ian and Nana, my grandma. And then I have one that's just Jason and Ian. And then I have one that's just Mom and Jason.
That's just crazy dog.
So that's a lot of, secrets where it's like, can you make sure Ian does this? I don't want to make sure he's... or don't tell your mom. The Jason and Ian group chat is mainly when you were at work and me and Ian were home. And he'd be like, hey, don't forget to clean.
He didn't want me being worried about them not getting along. Pin stealers. I don't like when my people peel.
I put them back.
You do. I'm talking at work too.
Oh.
People come. Can I have a pen?
That's just impolite.
Well, back.
But
I've gotten smart now. I was letting the office buy generic pens and putting those in a cup on my desk, and those are the ones that people would come and steal. I'm like, okay, you have those. Go for it.
I used to steal pencils from students in my class.
Wow. And that's sad because we still have a drawer full of unused pencils that I probably bought when you were in 6th grade. They've moved all over the nation.
What you gonna do?
Yeah. The last one is mansplaining.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no need to go into that any further because now
if you don't know what mansplaining is,
this is what it is, okay? No, I wanted to lead into my hot take because it kind of goes along with...
I thought we weren't cutting to hot takes. Those are hot takes.
Well, kind of, but
okay.
I really feel the need to talk about this.
Can I do a thing with mansplaining real quick?
Sure.
I don't like when I'm like, okay, got it. And then people are like, if you don't know what to do, but I'm like, I said I got it. I can do this. You don't need to tell me what to do. If I have questions, I'll ask. I am a grown-up, technically, right? Like, I am an adult. I know how to do this. You don't have to tell me specifically how to do it unless I ask you for help.
Yeah.
And then when I ask for help, they'd be like, just figure it out. I'm like, if I knew how to figure it out,
I would figure it out.
it's like Bean Dad. Do you know what Bean Dad is?
Yes. Yeah.
He, like, let his daughter not eat for hours because he was trying to teach her how to use a can opener by not showing her how to use a can opener, by letting her figure it out.
And she was 6.
She's 6.
Yeah. I know. So, that's Hannah's hot take. No. So,
I guess that is my hot take.
this week, one of my friends shared a meme. I guess you call it a meme. I guess any kind of, like, shared thought is a meme, right? But it was specifically about abortion. And without going into my beliefs, I think it'll come out in the wash. But the meme said, "Stop abortion at the source. Vasectomies are reversible. Make every young man have one. When he's deemed financially and emotionally fit to be a father, it will be reversed." What's that? Did the idea of regulating a man's body make you uncomfortable? Then mind your fucking business.
I will also just say, vasectomies are meant to be a permanent form of birth control.
Absolutely.
Like, they can be reversed, but it's not a...
Yes, they can be. It's not, yeah.
It's not like that is actually going to happen. It's just...
My dad had one.
No, but...
And it was reversed.
I'm saying making every man have a vasectomy.
I'm just saying, in these modern medicine times, they're probably more likely to be able to be reversed. It took a lot for my dad to be able to have a baby after having a reversal. Like 9 years. Mm-hmm. But it happened, right?
It's not foolproof.
No, it's not foolproof. But anyway, the whole point of that is...
I just wanted to clarify before anyone jumped down our throat.
I had a friend in my hometown jump on the thread when I shared it. Basically talking about stop having sex. I'm like, okay, that has nothing to do with rape. That has nothing to do with, incest. That none of the things that, or somebody, finding out that they have a medical condition that will kill them if they don't terminate the pregnancy. You can't judge people on their choices. And then she's like, I don't judge people. I just want people to not use it as a lazy form of contraception and all blah blah blah. She didn't say lazy, but yeah, using it as a form of contraception. I know, and I was like, okay. And she spotted a bunch of Bible verses and stuff. But my main take on this, the whole missed the point of the thing completely. It was like, oh, did it make you uncomfortable that we're telling men to regulate their bodies instead of women?
It's very much like that saying of, if men were forced to have babies, there would be abortion clinics on every corner next to every single Starbucks on the planet. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Or no children being born ever. Like, they would not do it.
Right.
They would find ways.
Right.
Right. Anyways, so without getting into, I firmly believe that every woman's choice is her choice alone, and everybody has their story and everybody has their reasoning. And even the people that use abortions as an easy way out.
Abortion isn't easy, first of all.
It's not. That's like somebody saying...
Especially in Texas, where you have to go to counseling and they show you.
Yeah. They
have to show you the baby on the ultrasound.
Yeah.
The fetus, sorry.
When I was in high school.
Yeah.
My home ec class that we took, so there were several different versions of home ec, and one of the classes that I took was about children and family development or something like that. And we had to do a project, like a research paper type project and a presentation, and I did mine on SIDS.
Son infant death syndrome.
Correct. But one of my classmates did it on abortion, and she had one. So as a 15-year-old or something, so she had a very personal story to tell, and it was so impactful that, and she wasn't like preaching against it or for it or whatever. She was just simply telling her story. But part of the thing that she showed was a video of one happening on ultrasound, and that was so impactful to me. Like, at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, that's horrible, right? But then I had to think, she had to do that. That is why she's so, she didn't watch it as it was happening to her, right? But if she went after the fact and saw that, or when it was in Texas too, so she might have had to watch that before. You don't know, So, anyways, I believe it's a personal choice. I believe that nobody should have the right to tell somebody that they can or cannot do it. And that's that.
I will also say that being pro-choice doesn't mean that you have to have an abortion. It's like, you know, that whole thing was like, oh, so if you get pregnant, you're going to have an abortion? Like, that argument against pro-choice people. Because right now, just me being 19, not ready to have a baby at all, I don't know what would happen if I got pregnant, right? Like, I don't know. I've never been pregnant. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's very much like a, you know what I mean? I would have to see in the moment. But however I feel about my fictional non-existent
situation
pregnancy that may happen while I'm 19, right? Is no, it's not, it shouldn't affect how you feel about your pregnancy or whatever. Like, you should have the choice to do whatever you want. It's your body.
It's so true. If I often just think about the pregnancy that I lost in between. I lost two, but the one that was the most impactful. And I think about, had that pregnancy continued and had we found out much later that the baby had the things that were wrong with him, like, not necessarily just Down syndrome, because I think Down syndrome children are completely capable of growing up, and
especially now.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities. There's still a lot of ground to cover. I have so many friends, a handful, probably a dozen friends that have children with Down syndrome, and they're fantastic, like, advocates for their kids and active and, you know, getting everything, you know, situated, whatever. And it's a fight, like, they're continually fighting. Yeah. But the kids themselves are fantastic. Like, I love watching them grow up and hear the stories and whatever. And my baby had Down syndrome, so they didn't do genetic testing, but they did, you know, he had all the physical markers and whatever, and so they just said that it was likely that. So if we'd found out much later, I say much later, you know,
like third trimester.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I would have aborted him, because I really don't think that I would have and could have at that time, right? But if at, say, 16 weeks, which is right around the time when his heart stopped beating, if I'd found out, like, something terrible had happened, even not just Down syndrome either, if anything, you know, it's just crazy to me. I've seen stories of women that have made the choice, and they didn't call it abortion, they called it
medically terminating,
late term, you know, whatever,
miscarriage or whatever, right?
Well, they had to make the choice. Like, the baby didn't have a brain. That baby was not going to live.
Like on Private Practice. Do you know the spin-off of Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah, I know the spin-off, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, heartbreaking.
So there's just so many instances, and who are we to say that woman made a horrible choice or whatever? You can't do that. Like,
it's a choice.
And it's not your life. Like, it's not your life. And we're not put on this planet, not to get all preachy, but we're not put on this planet to judge people. That's not our place. And if you believe or you don't believe, whatever.
That's your choice.
It's your choice. And, you know, okay, great. You wouldn't do it. But I dare say, if your daughter or your granddaughter or any woman in your life felt the need to do it, I would certainly hope that you would support them through it rather than judge them.
There's this whole, like, I agree with that, but I also think there's this whole statement of having it happen to someone close to you makes you feel empathetic, and that's not empathy. No. Empathy is just feeling bad for someone. Yeah. Abortion is never an easy choice.
No. It's a surgery. Too. I mean, like, you think about it that way.
Well, and
it could render you incapable of having children ever again
if it goes wrong. Yeah. And it's very much like, if you criminalize abortion, more people are going to die from it. Like, drugs are criminalized, right? They're slowly becoming decriminalized. But when they were illegal, how many people were addicted to drugs and dying of overdoses? And that was a large part of, like, the AIDS crisis, right? People doing drugs and not feeling like they couldn't get the help they needed. And then them getting, like, it's just very much like a whole thing.
Gosh, we're going on 2 hours now. Yikes. So anyway, I think that's a good place to stop. We've had fun. Like I said, we started off this episode really kind of me not knowing how it would go, but I think it went really well considering. I feel better.
I do feel better.
Good. And it's interesting to know that my son's in Sagittarius. Or in his bedroom. I don't know which. Mom joke. So, I think our phrase this week should be...
Saltine cracker of an ugly white man.
How about just saltine cracker?
Okay, saltine cracker. Be sure to like and follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
We've hit 100. We got 102 followers now.
Yeah, so we're planning on doing a giveaway at 150.
150.
Don't know what we're doing yet. I haven't been informed of this decision, but...
I have some ideas.
Okay. I'm also doing this, the continual podcast endeavor as my final project for my film class.
Yeah. So we're, like...
It's getting real.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually something we're doing. We've almost made a whole ass $1.
Woo! Yeah, we're rolling in it. But seriously, we do appreciate your support. We love the comments that we get on the YouTube posts, and we love the comments that we get on the Instagram, the little DMs we get. We love that stuff. So keep that stuff coming. Keep sharing us with all your friends. And if you have any ideas, be sure you let us know.
We're not scary. Don't feel bad to reach out to us. But if you hate comments, you're gonna get blocked. So
yeah, be nice.
Be nice.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.